Okay, so welcome to our next game of Mystara. We're up to session number 136, or Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 22.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still on the 15th day of the 7th month of the year 1011. I don't believe we advanced that day in the last session.
No, we
I
didn't.
don't think we did, no.
We're still in the night, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will do the introductions before we do the recap. Online we have Jeremy.
Good evening all, yes, I'm playing Tyranny, the Atruaghin tribesman, who started out as a humble watchman or lawman, LAW, and has since been blessed and chosen by Atruaghin and another god of the dragon to lead the clan chief of chiefs, and chairman of the clan, and leader of the dragon clan, involving transformation into a were-dragon, non-lycanthropic, and they've also, let's say, collected 40 years knowledge of war and combat to lead or be leading the American army against the forces of the Master. So now he's keen on trying to ensure that the American forces maintain enough integrity to continue the fight.
And dealing with the fact that he now has 8 clans of the Atruaghin instead of 5.
And you've got to bring all together into a cohesive nation.
At the table today we have Paul,
Who is Cruel, noble of Alfheim and prince of the Shadow Elves, and neither of them know about it much, especially not the Alfheim side. Wielder of a intelligent sword which scares the jabbers out of him because of what it is and what it represents. Diplomat, healer, group face, and occasional artillery piece.
Yep. And that sword will represent quite a few things soon. Next up we have is Rhiannon.
I play Seika, the Elven Rogue, who is a performer and member of the Hitoshi Monogatari circus performing troupe. Hoshi Monogatari. Sorry.
Thing it.
Who is in a bit of hunting mode, but also enjoying a nice reunion with an old friend.
Okay, and the GM is adding more and more backstory to your character as we go.
Of course.
Should only be slightly concerned.
I'm sure that won't come back to bite you in any way.
No.
Of course, when you actually find out who it is, you'll laugh at the joke.
Also, of course.
Next up we have is Kesley.
Hello, I am playing Kupalani Alakai. She goes by Lottie, holder of many titles. Lakai, Demon Fighter, Weapons Master,
Merry Christmas.
Fun person, I guess.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, that's me.
And lastly at the table today we have Grant.
Who's playing Michael O'Shaughnessy, also known as the Old Bastard, a soldier of many years standing.
Or hobbling, as the case may be.
Yeah. It's not
No, he still stands okay. It's the walking bit that's hard.
Oh, great fun.
And we have apologies from Ariadna and Naomi, unable to make it this week.
Yeah.
So did someone want to do the recap, or did they want the GM version of it?
It's always a dangerous question.
I can.
Mainly because I focus on things most of the players don't.
Yes.
So we started out with the knowledge that Llewell's stronghold had been infiltrated by Blood Elves, and had decided we needed to hunt those things down. Calcrix and Nada had arrived. We went. Drachname lost a leg to Eep because he tried to kick it. But the leg was restored.
You got lucky that it was only a leg.
This was after. Sorry, that was something that caught my eye. This was after we saw a cart approaching the stronghold and met Llewell's younger sister and younger brother. At which point we were approached by an elf with refreshments. I accidentally killed the elf using a giant elk, but apparently it was a good thing because it turns out that elf was a blood elf.
Well, you asked the elk to catch him, and
I said chase him,
he did
yes.
to chase him, and he didn't know he was playing chase.
Yeah.
So
Hey, it ended up being a good thing. I will take that.
It's not
He
his
caught him
fault that
rather
the elf
quickly.
stopped running when he right in front of him.
well, he didn't run at all. He was just standing there, smack at full speed.
So we killed one blood elf. That triggered us to push on and move out and try to do some things to find the rest of them.
Because blood elves are bad.
Because blood elves are horrible. Calcrix and Drachnama went off with Father Pat, following them and having a cup of coffee and trying to keep everything calm, and went off and enjoyed a peace pipe and a bit of a journey seeing invisible runes.
If confirming, not with the blood elves.
Yeah, no, not with the blood elves.
No. But
And you weren't
finding
speaking the blood elves
invisible runes.
Yes.
Llewell, Immortal, the younger brother, and Seika went to the inn and had some fun, even though Immortal made us all spill secrets. All of this resulted in a lot of information, and then we were alerted to a particularly important danger when Nadar discovered a storeroom under Llewell's bedroom that was starting to catch on fire. We investigated a bit, found the corruption runes in there.
In the ceiling.
In the ceiling.
Yes.
Decided we had to chase the elves who were obviously destroying everything, any evidence, and getting out of there. Was then contacted by Llewell's younger sister, who said, "I've got these two elves here. I'm holding them still. Do you want me to keep holding them?" At which point we said yes. Go and met her. We interrogated the elves, found out some more information, and then Llewell and Seika both killed one each, and that's where we finished. I'm fairly sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't think I missed anything though.
No, that sounds right.
That does sound like the eventful episode.
It was fun.
Your family sounds fun.
They're great.
All your family members.
Though they
are
did
great.
leave out the fact that the sister had captured the Shadow Elves by animating the bones inside them
Yes.
while they were still alive.
Yes.
She's a necromancer enchanter.
She's a wizard enchanter who has goth attitudes.
Yep. And
So basically, yeah.
Llewell's little brother, turns out Seika knew him from her childhood.
Her circus days.
Yep. And they're old friends. And he's a fun-loving, mischievous bard who, as I said, cast a spell that caused everybody in the inn to spill their secrets, including Seika, but she managed to keep it surface-level secrets, not
That's good.
anything too juicy.
Yes.
Very nice.
Particularly as her destiny is about darkness and keeping secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Actually, all three of my siblings would be would suit that too, but particularly these two. But these are the ones you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And was there anything else that was of importance that you remember?
I think that was it. Was there anything else?
I can't think of anything else. Like, we had information. but
Oh, yeah.
The book was
There
being taken somewhere to someone, but we don't know who.
What book?
Oh, they also stole Llewell's book that he was using to try and find out how to grow the tree of life for his
Yeah.
clan.
Oh.
We got it back though.
We did.
But the book's been corrupted.
Well, it's highly likely the book's been
It's
corrupted.
almost well, given what it's encountered, it's almost definitely corrupted because it's a magical book.
So we need to figure out how to.
So
Uncorrupted.
either restore it, and there's a couple of Immortals that would be really some people we'd need to talk to about this, or find another copy of it.
Because hey, if they just change one of the rituals just slightly,
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
sure it can have a different outcome.
And Half Crix had a talk with Atruaghin about
Yes.
how to deal with Drachma.
Yes. Yes.
So he didn't kill a whole bunch of elves just to be safe.
Yeah. He was
But yes.
wanting to burn down the settlement.
Yes, but an extra comma in the right place can do an
But-
amazing.
It will work.
Yep.
From Drachma's perspective, genocide on the location meant no corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And from a certain point of view, that was correct. But then no settlement.
We also
Yeah.
discovered that was the only 3 blood elves in the settlement,
Mm-hmm.
as like all the
Yeah.
evidence suggests.
Yes.
Otherwise, I might have to. If we really need me to, I might have to go around and talk to everybody and see if any of them make my skin burn. It's a good detection system, right?
Hey, high five!
It's better than some of the alternatives.
Because, the other
Yeah.
thing we discovered is blood elves make my skin burn because I'm a particularly fey type of elf.
Right,
Yes.
so you have.
So it's
like,
a warning signal.
Yeah.
And the blood elves are very much dark fae.
Yeah.
They're
They're
It's just he's not ready for wild.
yeah.
Unlike the shadow elves who aren't dark fae,
Yeah.
the blood elves are dark fae.
So I would have been a very nice prize for them.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Better than me. I'm a partly sort of that face side of things.
So yeah, I think that's where we were. We are currently in Myatils?
That's the sister.
Llewell's place.
Yes.
This might
No,
be-
we're currently in her cavern.
In her little
cavern. Yes.
In her lab in the cavern.
her folding lab.
Mm-hmm. And is Emerald with us? I'm fairly sure he came with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Explicitly there, being
Uh,
brightly dressed and all.
you
Cool.
when you catch up with the others, having been distracted and finally catching up to them, because Calcris wasn't going to stay around to see what happened.
She tried very hard for us not to have to kill the blood elves. It didn't take.
No,
Yeah.
doesn't sound like it.
You do see a travelling minstrel, which you know to be Llewell's brother, having also been through Erendi and putting quite a few interesting tales of the King and Queen Championships. He always played at them
At them.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
and always mocked the winner during the bout.
Look, that's
He's-
the fun part of it.
Well, that's the thing. He's doing King's Fool impressions on
I was
everybody.
gonna say, classic Jester, right?
Yes, on everybody, even when they
That's
ask
what.
not to.
That's why everybody loves the championship arrangements for King and Queen, and like it's always a good time, and people love the jesters and all
Yes.
that stuff. Because if you're not making fun of them, then they didn't really earn it.
We
Yeah.
did get some interesting songs about Llewell's
And,
past.
and you always remember whenever they're doing the competitions, there's laughter, there's enjoyment, there's fun, there's embarrassment, and there's absolute joy at the end.
And
No matter who wins.
And Emerald
Because you
does
have
all
to
of
keep
that.
them humble.
Yes, Emerald likes those sort of things.
Especially because occasionally the person who's doing so well makes a lot of missteps to the music.
Exactly.
He tends to
Usually because they've had about 14 drinks by that point.
he tends to rock up at the circus when he's running from something
Nice, nice.
Or
nice,
do
nice.
something.
or to something.
Oh, yeah.
He's always running. He's not quite the person who just sits still.
No.
Fair.
Whereas the sister always makes most people's hair stand up on the back of their end when she looks at them.
Yeah.
With good reason.
Partly because you're not quite sure, is she actually looking at you or looking inside of you for the parts she can use?
Yeah.
Sing, Alexa.
Yeah. Well, this is the person who gave me one of her ex's skulls as an enchanted spell book.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sake Alexa.
That is. Yeah. Hey, it's a useful spellbook too. I use it.
Well, don't tick off a princess of a kingdom who has access to stuff no one else does.
Yeah. I also have to get a list of the spells in it. If there's anything special in it, like special versions of particular spells.
And so, yes, you find out that the elves had been trying to corrupt the area to basically destabilize Llewell's hold on the region, mainly because Llewell had been opposing the Master.
And that's Antiochal for, what, a decade now. Yeah.
You've been a particular thorn in his side, and he can't influence Drakdamar's people at this stage.
We do know there was no more blood elves because I did my interrogation trick, where I didn't need them to answer, but I knew the answer.
Yes.
We know that there are other blood elf conclaves outside of the Hollow World. We know that they are none of them are currently hunting my elf clan.
But that may change at any time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they don't hunt you. You are basically entertainment.
Yeah.
Right.
So from that perspective, they don't think of you as a hunt. They think of you as pleasure.
So they might still be going after my clan, but
Yeah.
I may have phrased it wrong.
It's not a target they pick. It's just there and they do it.
You're something they do when they're bored.
It's the equivalent of like, look, shiny. Okay, we're full of shiny.
Which means we can use that idea as bait.
No, they're not directly working for the Master, but they are indirectly helping the Master.
Because...
Knowingly indirectly helping the Master.
Yeah, but they follow its Antiochal, and its Antiochal is backing the Master as far as we know.
And everything they're doing makes their life better.
Of course.
Because if they can destabilize the one elf who seems to be trying to connect the two hated factions of the elves, the Shadow Elves and the Surface Elves.
It'll mess them up.
Yeah.
And they don't want that.
They did know where the other conclaves are, but we couldn't figure out how to.
Yes, no, answer it.
Yes. We started listing countries, and they it didn't help.
Yeah.
They were taking Llewell's book to someone, serving the Master. They know the Blood Elves know who we are. They have no idea of the connections, the person with the book. So they have no idea about the connections, the person around the book. There were no conversions in Llewell's settlement to the Corruptor God. And no confirmation. We couldn't get any confirmation of the location of the receiver of the book.
And from notes that the party has taken in the 3 different groups, you know that the Blood Elves have served Anzantiotl and Thanatos.
Interesting.
Because Thanatos used them to try to wipe out all the gods. He almost succeeded too, except for the party and their pet.
That's his ultimate goal.
It was almost like a Scooby-Doo ending at the end of it.
Yes.
Look on we meddling kids.
Yes, that's where the halfling grew up and became an elf, and then later on got arrested for killing himself.
Yes. That's always fun.
Yeah, and it was 4 levels later, so he had no recollection of why they're arresting him.
Just like, what's going on?
But I'm here. It's like, no, you're not.
That's not you.
That's not your name. That's not this body. This body was never a halfling.
Dimitri took his way out of it.
How do you go questioning with that spell?
The reason we didn't go with that is because
they're resistant
to magic.
Yeah.
That's why my stuff works, because it's physiological.
Yeah.
So...
We could have tried. We never actually tried magic.
No, we didn't try that. My DC for that's pretty good, but it's not amazing.
Okay, so did you wish to ask the sister anything more, or head back to Llewell's village and start making preparations for the 2 clans you need to visit?
My greatest concern at the moment is if those Corruptor runes are still underneath
if there's still
Llewell's
anything
room.
there. Yeah. And whether anything's happened to Thiala and our unborn.
Okay.
because that would be a lovely target for people like that, and for our older sister. So they
I
both
can't
need
think
to
of
be checked.
anything else we'd want to ask.
Well, your older sister's got a month to have whatever corruption in her dissipate or get worse.
We'll see what happens.
But basically, if you remember, she got put in a
she got-
timeout.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's on a one-year trip that she can't hop out of.
Yep.
So she's gonna be pissed when she finally gets free. But
We'll deal with that.
yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
that's a good question of like, are there any other signs of corruption anywhere else? And then
Yeah.
is your partner and the unborn baby okay?
Yes.
Because that you're correct. That would be like the number one target.
Mm.
So
Yeah, particularly
Though
for
in
the blood elves.
most
If they're trying to
cases-
destabilize me, that's an incredibly good way to do it.
From what you have learned from things, corrupting an unborn is almost impossible.
Almost. We're checking anyway.
I know, you can still check, but
Oh yeah.
basically it needs direct intervention of one of the corrupted gods itself, instead
Yeah.
of just a
some
servant of the god.
yeah, like not a mortal interruption. It has to be some kind of immortal.
Because the
Yeah.
gods of birth don't allow...
any touching.
yeah.
Mm.
No, that's fair.
Unless, of course, they've been distracted by something else.
Oh, you mean
or-
like
AV
the
got
God war
innocent.
that's happening?
Yeah, or just being straight out outpowered.
Well, the main one that looks after them is basically the one seen as Mother Earth, and there's
Yeah.
only 4 gods at her power level. There's
Yeah.
no god above her power level.
Yeah. So she's not going to get outpowered no how.
And she's not...
Not without destroying large chunks of the world.
And she's not
Yeah.
on any one side in this war.
Yeah.
She's not participating.
I would think she would remain very neutral in those.
Peter Rogers, think of the children.
Mm.
And basically, in the Friday night group, they have a cleric of hers
Yeah.
who has a NPC partner who's founded an orphanage,
Mm-hmm.
and that orphanage is pretty much untouchable by a mortal. They can't affect it in any way.
Very simple.
Cleric or paladin?
She's a cleric,
Okay, cool. So she's not the one that killed
not
Hildred's
the
cousin.
one, but the cousin of that one. So if you were to kill the cousin of the person
Yeah.
as retribution,
She's more straightforward than that. I think she'd definitely go after the paladin, as much
And-
hard as that would be.
and so the fact that there's a whole flotilla of Raksasha looking after the orphanage,
Yeah.
who have the deal made that if anyone tries to harm the kids, they belong to the Raksashas after that point.
I like
Yes.
And it's the Raksashas to determine what harm is.
that. Yeah. That's fair.
That is completely up to them, though they are lawful in nature in this thing.
So they will abide by the word of the deal.
Yes.
Alright, okay.
And so they're more than happy for anyone to wander in, and the kids can't actually see any of the violence because that would harm the kids.
Mm.
Yep. I like it. It's fun.
So the kids think that the world is all cheery and happy because they have these people that can turn into cats who are making their life as happy as possible
Sunshine and rainbows.
after all the horrors of war they've had so far.
Such a lovely application of evil beings.
And the fact that they got plenty of food.
Hmm.
And it's not even something the master can overcome. Because if something like him rocks up, then whoever the Raksasha serve will show up because
Yeah.
that's part of the deal.
Hmm.
Yeah. Makes sense.
The price is that the person running the orphanage is now stuck running the orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
Can't leave.
That's fair.
But thought the price was worth it.
Mm.
For the greater good. Yeah.
I can't think. Oh, I think we were going to ask her if she could do something with their dead bodies to figure out if any more information.
Mm.
And
Yes, because it was after your questioning.
Yeah.
We're going to ask her to see if she could get any further, because she has methods that we don't want to talk about or write down. Think about it.
Well, she was already preparing one of them for consumption, she says.
Yes. We're not thinking about that right now.
Like,
Because,
As I said, Seika has no problem with this.
so what Luelle does know is she's a practitioner of all the necromantic arts.
Mm.
She doesn't just pick one like most do. She
Yeah.
knows how to blend more than one.
That's fair.
And such that she can actually use necromantic arts on the living.
Yeah.
That's how it
Which
is.
is-
Okay.
By her
What you
taking
guys
over
told
skeletons.
us. Yeah.
Yep. That was fun.
She can even banish the soul from the body.
And the fact that I could question them, not need them to actually say anything while they were being held in the...
Yeah.
So just minor horror in the game there.
Mm.
And Luelle's always grateful that she likes him, no matter what he's done.
Or I wouldn't be here. I'd have been a minor accident or something.
Exactly.
And so she's an unusual shadow off in the fact that she dabbles in magic far more than most.
Or in fact at all. Yes.
Well, most of them are attack focused.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the older sister's completely attack. She doesn't care about magic. She thinks magic's a waste.
So we could probably leave Maya Hatil
Yeah.
to her dealings. I'd feel like some people in our party would like to not be exposed to that.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
And if we
Oh.
head back,
I love her, but I hate what she does. I'm not interested in watching,
That's okay. She tells him in detail while he's trying to sleep.
which is the other problem.
again, I'm really liking these two of your siblings.
Mm.
Well, she doesn't want him to miss out on anything, so she fills him in.
It's like, come on, this is so fascinating. When you do this, and you take the bones, and you do this.
And because he's asleep at the time, he can't not listen.
Mm.
That's how it is.
So she uses Dreamwalk and comes in and tells me stuff.
Love it. So yeah, if we leave her to her devices and everybody else head back to town, we check the runes at the very least to make sure they're gone. Then I don't know if we want to take a long rest or Calcrix and Drachnima still high.
Probably not by now. It wasn't a long-lasting thing, but Drachnima was able to report before the high went that the runes were still visible,
Okay.
just that they don't detect. You
Okay.
can't detect them with magic.
Mm.
So we need to figure out how to get rid of the runes. That is not something I'm good with.
As the not magic person, I'm going to suggest a magic eraser.
Not magic pals!
Yeah.
I do have some spells.
You just
but-
have to get this really buff, bald-headed dude, Mr. Clean.
Yep.
Magic eraser. There you go. It's anything off of us.
A minute there, I thought you might have suggested, why don't we just stop them from putting it in the first place?
I mean, correct, but I can't say that out loud. I'm not allowed to say those things.
Well, as long as you're not giving
Not
a
I'm
statement
saying-
of an outcome.
I was going to say, as long as I'm not saying anything that will happen in the future, it's okay.
So if you say someone, if you do that, you're going to trip over, then you have to make them trip over while they're doing that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, so I just get to be Captain Hindsight. Oh, this is great. Love that.
Yeah,
So that's
no.
why Brazel normally answers with a question, never with a statement.
Yeah.
Yes, because otherwise you get to be Captain Chaos.
The few spells that I currently know will do nothing for this, so
This is why Lonnie's next downtime, she's going to the college in Yarlona, doing some time magic study, because she doesn't understand any of it.
Well, they had Friday's group
I think
talking
Father
to an
Pascal
elder
joined
blue
you.
dragon, and they were getting frustrated that the elder
Actually,
blue
we've got
dragon
3
was
non-natural
being very
people in this party.
circumspect in his answers, until it was pointed out he's a teacher of magic, and he
Yeah.
specialises in water magic and time.
In time
And I
magic.
went, yeah, okay, cool, that's fine.
And he gave one of them a telling of their future because they insisted on asking questions.
unlike Wednesday night group where everybody's magic.
Yeah.
That. Right.
I'm the tank as a cleric ranger because
Mhm.
I'm the one with the highest hit points who can get in close.
Mm.
Trellin is a monk and can help me if needed, but he tends to be up
Yeah.
on flying carpet shooting arrows.
I'm pretty sure
Yes.
Father Pat and I, as the non-magic
Mm.
people, are just chilling.
Technically,
whatever.
of,
I mean,
of
like,
the
technically I
3
am
groups,
acting.
you 2 are the tanks of the 3 groups.
Yeah.
Just used to.
Yeah. Both
Which
of
is
us.
why one of my backup characters is a barbarian.
It's like, this is what I'm here for, to
I
hit
do.
things.
Yes, I'm a caster who happens to have actually quite a reasonable number of hit points.
Yeah, we know we've got now we've got warlock, druid, bard, wizard, monk, and ranger cleric.
Though you do have wizard rogue.
Yes,
Hmm.
3 levels of rogue.
Yeah, I guess in all the 3
Oh.
groups, like, we're the only, like, real
Let's
martial
face it,
characters.
you haven't got wizard, you haven't got wizard rogue, you've got Demetrius.
Demetrius is his own class.
That they do have the paladin herald in the Friday group.
Okay.
But most people don't think of her as a frontline fighter.
Okay.
Why?
Because she obliterates things with magic.
Like
As a paladin.
Yes.
like
Easily.
training areas of in the northern reaches.
Yep.
Right.
She
See,
killed a bunch of
easy
trainee Vikings by imploding them
Easy
with a
solution.
fireball.
You don't have to hit them multiple times if you just blow them up.
If you hit them hard once, yeah.
This is just convenience, is what this is.
I just machine gun things.
I
and
did
punch holes in
realise
it.
Merc has thieves' tool proficiency and thieves' tools now,
Oh dear. Yes. I do have,
and knock.
as a side thing, I do have divination on my ritual list, so there's that if we need it.
Yep.
We
Okay,
probably
so
will.
how do we get rid of these marks that
So-
don't come up with detect magic?
We need to travel back. Is there any way we can true sight?
Or
Will true
I
sight
could-
see it?
Or we could
Well,
take the
you
floor out and replace it.
Had been given a specific vision pipe that had allowed Calcrix and Dracnomar to see it.
But so no.
And they're not sure exactly what magic that was because it was a god's gift.
So does Lowell have true sight?
No, Calcrix does.
And they reported it was like true sight but different.
Yeah.
Well, taking
It's
out
divine true sight.
Would
Yeah.
cutting it out.
is it
Or-
attached
As
to
I
the
said,
ceiling,
take the,
or is
take
it
the
hovering?
whole floor out
Yeah,
and replace it.
And regrow it.
just regrow it.
Yeah, entirely doable.
Like, but would that
We'd
work?
still
Is
have
the,
to check them.
That's the thing.
are
Is
the
like,
runes
are
attached
the runes
to the
are the
floor?
runes attached to the floor, or are they attached to the space?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the question.
And if we can't see them, we can't tell. Or if we can't
Well,
detect them, we can't tell.
You should be able to see the circles that Dracnemo drew around them to say, that's where it is, that's where it is,
Yes,
that's where it is.
the point there is if I take out that entire section of wood,
Will it take away the marks, or
And
are
then-
the marks
Yeah.
put in that location?
are they in the space? Which means once I take that wood out, if I then replace it with fresh wood, are they still there or are they with the bits of wood I took out?
I'm sure if you take him out, Dracnomir will be happy to get high again.
That seems to be the only way this is going to work.
And I know nothing of blood elf magic aside from fairy
Well,
tales.
the other thing is that Atruaghin is the true enemy of Anzat Teotl.
Yeah.
So
the-
he's
So-
absolutely
he's the
ideal
pure-
person.
Yeah.
to do this.
He knows
Pure
more
rogue.
about Anzat Teotl than anyone else except for Thanatos.
Would Drachnoma be able to use the peace pipe in this situation, remembering that there were restrictions on how to keep it as a peace pipe?
He'd have to do a ceremony.
In which case we all get shit faced.
Yeah, I feel like the three of us can go and
Yeah, like this
go
sounds
say at
fun.
the end.
I don't know nothing about any of this. I'm
Yes,
down for
well,
it.
I'm perfectly fine to go, let's just remove the bits around the circles and I'll just punch the floor out. The machine gun
Kind of like
holes.
patching drywall.
I think Lowell would also expect taking out a big chunk around it to be safe.
Oh yeah.
Because of the fact of
I think
it's something
Corruption
done by
spreads.
a corrupted god.
Yeah, it's
So-
going to spread. Treat it like cancer.
Cut it out.
Just take the
Yeah.
entire wall or entire floor.
I'm going to take the whole thing out. At
Take
least
it out.
the main part of it.
So Drachnoma would know how to use the peace pipe without it being an issue, right?
He would, yes, because he's a shaman.
Yeah, that's his job.
They can't. You don't carry the peace pipe to crack the directly. Yeah. But, so there's also, we can always fall back to Dracnemo's original plan.
burn the whole
We're
village
not
down.
burning down the settlement.
Welcome to Flip This Tree. Time for
I-
Demolition Day.
There is the little thing of the point of this is to help save the place.
Yeah, I'll grab one.
Uh,
One in there for me, please.
there. I'll get another one.
Welcome to HD.
These are too good.
I'm glad.
These old bones. Wait, that was the other episode.
The out of curiosity, does Dracula get any sensation or feelings coming from the preserver's blade when the tactical or tactical attempts to scrape away the glyphs with the preserver's blade?
You wish to do that?
I'm going to give it a try.
Okay, you can see it shearing right through the wood. It's an anti-plant sword as well, so it
Yeah.
actually will cut through any bit of wood as if it's not there.
Easy demolition.
Yeah.
So easy removal of bits of wood.
I see no problem with it.
And as it falls, you see bits of glittering of what appears to be blood falling from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of the tree?
No, I don't
No.
remember.
This is what they use to put them there.
Okay.
And
Horrendous
also
with the
it's
glyphs.
blood magic.
Yeah.
And most likely used 3V servants.
So what
Yeah.
happens if we just keep cutting until the blood stops dripping?
Yeah, just keep cutting outwards until it stops. Yeah,
That's a way to try it.
it's a bit ick, but yeah. Better than the alternative though.
It's not the worst idea.
Yes. Dracula's still fine with the CG. You can go through, remove all the glyphs, then burn down the building.
No.
You might have missed some when you threw it in 225.
You're thinking he might have missed some.
Yeah.
The ones you saw while you were high Drachnor, were they more
Mhm.
communication or were they more magic sigils throughout the town?
I
Do you want it from the truth, or do you want to recommend the burning down version?
no, he said they're going to provide what he understood to be the truth at the time,
Yeah.
which I have a vague memory was that they appear to be markers of meeting point, were they some...
They were markings of times. Basically, the sort of things you would do to say you want to meet someone. And
Yeah,
they
that's
were
right.
basically done in blood. And were basically, even after the fact that the blood's been washed away, still leave a psychic imprint.
You know what's
Yeah.
cool? Parchment. What's wrong with parchment? Kids these days and their blood magic.
Well, their parchment's made from the
It's gotta be
skin of their
secret
enemies.
Yeah, there's that.
Parchment is there and it's fine. There's nothing
I'm
wrong
a forger,
with it.
I've got heaps of
It-
paper.
Parchment can be read by other people. This is the problem.
Meh.
Not their parchment.
Well, no, because they do the same thing with that as they do with the walls. The point was to get around that.
So
But no. Yeah.
the Blood Elves' house has been burned down.
I like how they're using
Yeah.
your place as a sticky
The
notepad.
storeroom where... Love it. The storeroom, we are removing every sign of magic runes, so we're
Yep.
just cutting until blood stops,
Yes.
and then we might send Drachnor in with the peace pipe.
Yes, now that's them trolling me in a bad way.
We would probably also want to check out the kitchen, because that's where
Yes.
one of the workers...
Was
Because there's still the
Working.
disturbing knife set.
Oh yeah,
yeah. we dressed
Considering it wasn't designed along the same way as the halflings,
yeah.
Yeah.
and instead of being clean cuts, they were designed to cause pain
Yeah.
on the living.
And
There are ways to deal with stuff.
the third blood elf wasn't living with the other two. He was
No.
one of your servants, so if we could check out his quarters.
Yes. No, definitely. I already sent someone to do that. We'll see what they come up with. And have a look ourselves. The knife set, was that just unpleasant design, or is that stuff actually magical?
Not magical, just unpleasant design. The sort of thing that is used in sacrificial ceremonies where you don't want it to be clean.
Yeah. So, I have...
That's why the Bloodhounds have such a horrible reputation.
Yes.
Because their entire culture is about making people suffer.
Yes. So, Voidmore...
So
has
Republicans?
Yes. Yes.
Where's Trump? Or we're doing different Republicans.
Yeah. Republicans with blood magic.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, but Voidmore...
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably have to be cast one per item, because of the way it's worded. But, yeah. Because if it's non-magical, Voidmore, it just disappears. It's gone.
So
Disintegrated.
Not even disintegrated because there's no dust.
It's just gone. Not even dropped into anywhere, it's just gone.
it would also be worth, I think, checking out the rest of your house to make sure there's no
Yes.
other.
And particularly while Dracula is still stunned.
Yeah, and also just checking the burnt down house to make sure there's no remnants of anything.
And also checking my girlfriend's residence in the Druid Grove.
Yep, that too.
Same way.
So you
we'll do all this
spend
checking.
a couple of days
And-
having a good thorough search of your properties.
Yep. And it's
You
going-
find the servant who wasn't living with the others. No one ever knew where they stayed. He just always showed up on time.
So he just would have found somewhere to stay for 4 hours and just
If he
lurked
ever,
around doing
if
stuff.
he ever did that.
If he ever needed to do that. Yes.
And
Right.
I feel like
you did have to cut out most of the floor of the building that burnt down
Yep, that's fine.
because it was basically almost into the heart of the tree.
Yeah. Definitely time for the Druids.
And they
Ones
hadn't
who
quite gotten
aren't
to,
my girlfriend.
they hadn't quite gotten to the Druid Grove.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
As far as you can tell, the Druid Grove seemed to have been remained untouched.
Yeah, hadn't got to that.
Mainly because it wasn't for servants,
Yeah.
and only the nobles of your settlement were allowed to come and visit.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Plus-
the druids would go to them.
Yes. Plus, it being a Druid Grove, there's there's an element of Gaia involved in that as well.
yeah.
So it
Some
is
protection
a big connection to nature.
Yeah, exactly.
What about the rest of Lowell's house?
Llewell
Yeah.
House probably needed a few bits here and there removed.
Yes. Fortunately, we can regrow them. That's not enormously hard. I've just
And he
figured
found
it's-
some of his artifacts over the years had been replaced.
That's annoying.
Probably about three or so of books he'd come across the years. There weren't any of the special books, but
No, because I carry those.
they had
Yeah.
had the contents replaced.
It'd be interesting to see
In-
if there's a connection there.
including one of
Yeah.
them being the history of Llewell from Llewell.
By the well.
What about the burnt down house and the inn's kitchen?
Yeah.
The kitchen didn't seem to have anything there that you could find besides the knife set that just disappeared one day,
Yes.
thanks to Llewell.
Yes.
And the burnt down house that
The-
they lived in?
That's the one that had the corruption almost to the heart of the tree.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. The books that weren't my own, basically my own diary, I'm going to note which ones they were, and they're going to get void-moored, and I'm going to get new copies. And the rewritten version of my own diary, it's just weird them doing that.
Well, there's
Right.
all these points in there flicking through. It makes you doubt your own history.
Which I don't.
And most
So-
most of them are about why you chose to do something that were changed.
Well, keeping that and having a look through, seeing the sort of thought processes that they're trying to influence.
Well, this is the sort of thing that your family would check out or read, and your followers would check out and read.
Could I...
Voidmore,
Rewrite.
fabricate, make a new one. Poof.
while we are doing all
10
of
minutes,
this, because
done.
I'm not going to be able to help with finding magical stuff or destroying magical stuff,
Yeah.
can I have been checking out as much as I can to see if there's any physical evidence? Like, it's hard for Seika to believe there is absolutely no trace of any intention, motives, anything like that.
Yeah. People they've spoken to. People have been keeping track
from what you remember of the stories of the Blood Elves told by the Vialian Elves, trace of them doing anything is very hard to find.
Yeah.
Most of them have
they cover their
never
asses.
seen traces because their infiltrators are far more skilled than the Vialian infiltrators. They basically put the Vialian infiltrators to shame, which is why the Vialians gained a blessing from their gods that allows them to find the Blood Elves.
Is that why my
Right.
skin burnt?
So
Now you sort of have more of an inkling of why it burns, but you didn't know until it actually happened because you never knew what the blessing was.
Yeah.
right. Right, so you guys
Hindsight
spies
lets
and-
you know what it means, but at the time it's like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah.
So you guys are spies and they're ninjas.
Yeah. I'd still like to look,
You're bloody good spies.
but
And what you can gather is they take on the form of those they sacrifice.
Okay. That's something.
Whether they're actually wearing their skin or just assuming their identity is hard to tell
Depends on the
on the elf.
desires of the person involved. I want to wear
Do their
someone's
powers
skin.
involve gaining the memory that the character they consume?
Very much so, because they get a lot of power from sacrifice.
Yep.
Right.
Everything in their powers deals in sacrificing something else and gaining the powers of those they sacrifice.
Yes.
Which is why they want to get the Fey creatures, because that's the powers they can't get easily.
It's
And most-
also a source of enormous power.
Well,
You
also
can go-
most Fey creatures can't be sacrificed.
Yeah.
If you kill it, it goes back to its plane, and they can't do
Whereas
it on
we
their
can.
plane.
Yeah.
we are
Yes.
of the material plane,
Yes.
so
Yes.
Yeah.
Hence, high on their wish list.
Yes. We're such good targets for them.
Well, less so, but
Less so,
it's
but
still
it's
desirable.
Still there. Still a bit
And
of
if
Fey
if they
influence.
can make you one of them, all the better.
Exactly.
Okay, so I find no signs, but I learned more about the Blood Elves.
Simply because they are doing what you would have done and then more.
Yeah.
Cool. That will level up your skills.
She'd take that as a challenge.
And you do suspect you've come across at least 5 or 6 blood elves in your lifetime now.
Oh.
Now that you've kind of had this.
Now you've had a couple of days thinking about it, there are times where you felt that and just thought you were coming down with things.
So now you've got
Just
some
like your
people to hunt
eyes.
down.
Did I
Wasn't
do I
really the
remember
flu.
who they are? And
It was so long ago.
Yeah.
This is over the last 80 years of your life.
Which means they're almost definitely somebody else now.
yeah.
And yet they let you alive.
Not a present target.
Also, children under all the elven cultures are generally something they won't target.
Yeah. So
Just
No matter
they're
how
within-
corrupt they are, they don't
Yeah.
touch kids.
Yes. On
Right.
the other hand, earmark for later, no problem at all.
That's
Yeah.
something they
And
would have
Seika's only
Yes.
been an adult for like 10 years.
Yeah.
12
And
years.
you've not actually encountered them since then.
No.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting point, that you've encountered them and they've left you alone.
It is interesting.
But it's not uncommon for even orcs not to kill kids. The only ones that will do so because they don't know any better are goblins.
Yeah.
Because goblins will treat kids as goblins.
Okay.
They don't see the distinction. They make no distinction between any of the races
Right.
or ages.
Yeah, because any kid over about the age of 7 is taller than them anyway.
Yeah.
You're bigger than me, you're an adult.
And most goblins get to full size within a year. Get the maturity of an adult within 5 years.
which explains their attitudes.
Mm.
They're babies without strength.
Mhm.
That really explains goblins. When they get old enough, they get trained how to do trap things. Then they get really scary.
And they don't generally live long enough to understand possessions.
yeah,
Therefore, what's yours is... Well, I'd like that place very
I
much.
know, if they need it, they just use it, and then they leave it wherever they last used it because someone else can use it.
yeah,
Of course, every little bit of information I learn about blood elves, I am reporting back
Yeah.
to Satoshi.
Yeah.
yes. Basically, goblins are minor fae that have been nicked by somebody else. In almost every D&D world they exist in.
Yeah.
In this one, they're an offshoot of a race of people that genetically mutated with every child.
Interesting.
Yeah, so no culture whatsoever.
And they ended up the short end of the stick, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and none of their parents cared about them because they were small and runty and dumb,
Yeah.
or at least almost uneducatable.
Though they are still in the same branch as hobgoblins and bugbears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just they're the scrunty ones.
And occasionally the others will be born in the other groups.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did Maya Hetil, I
Yeah.
will get it.
Mhm.
Did she learn any information through her?
Well,
Magics?
Has she got
her
magics?
magic's going to take her about a month to finish.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
right. Okay.
Then if
Because
we're-
she's turning each of them into a magical item.
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah.
Ah,
so
of course.
if we're happy that
Speaking skull.
and there's no sign of corruption
Alas
or
for
anything
your-
affecting
I knew him well.
Val's part,
To
well,
be or
and
not to
on
be.
part.
None
Yeah.
that you could find. And no divinations came back saying a change in their future.
Cool.
Just turning them
Including I
into
want to use
magic
actual
balls.
divination.
Well, that's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
you don't ask for their future.
Yeah.
You ask,
Yeah.
has their future changed?
By the
from-
way, one of the things I was thinking of, that gift that I got from, I think, my father,
Mhm.
really early on, which is that statue that kept changing shape, that strikes me as a divination aid. I don't know how you want to do that, but using that to basically meditate on while I'm casting divination is something I will be doing.
Well, as long as you're concentrating on it, it doesn't change shape. And that's part of the meditation is if you so much as blink, it's changed.
So it becomes actually becomes a really
That's what I was
concentration
referring
aid.
to.
So let's go for it aids concentration, which means if I'm doing a ritual, can that possibly give me either an advantage
I will
or
give you
expertise?
expertise dice or expertise dice upgrade.
Yep. Cool.
So
note that.
if we're happy that the stronghold's okay, we've gotten rid of all the blood elves. If there's any evidence, we're not going to find it anyway. Do we want to try and head out for the clan we were aiming for?
I think we were aiming for the started with the M. Miendo.
Yeah, it's somewhere in my back.
Yeah, Miendo. We were heading for them first.
Yeah.
Or no. Whichever one was on the floaty island.
Yeah, that's the Miladil. And the red arrow is
Yeah.
the one that's marching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking at what's happening in the timeline in case something crops up that you need to deal with. Okay.
So how many days have passed? We were on the 15th. Are we up to say the 20th or?
You are on the 18th. Well, let's make it the 19th. That will be easier. On the 19th, because I did say 3 full days. 'Cause you're at the end of day, on the night of the full moon when it happened, which is also why you weren't using a lot of magic on
Yeah.
that
Right.
period. So you're just coming out of the Energies Embrace Festival, as they call it, where it's the height of the sphere of energy and magical power.
Right.
Sorry, just having thoughts about the session for the Wednesday night.
It's also the height of those of the fire aspect and the summer fae.
I have a feeling, no,
and
because
that's
it
when they
wasn't the
know
15,
no magic because
but it
goes
would have been
crazy.
within that.
On the particular
Anyway.
day of the 15th is the one they don't do magic because that's where
Because of how crazy energy magic
and
is.
how addictive it is because once they start casting they can't stop. They've got to make willpower to stop casting,
Oh,
and
fun.
the power gets worse and worse with each casting.
Hildren cast, not on the same day, but a couple of days later, cast Call Lightning, and the storm clouds appeared as a skull.
Oh,
And the lightning bolt, which I know how much damage should do, didn't just damage, it took down
Castle
the
wall.
battlements in a castle.
oh, fun.
Almost,
killing
almost
all the creatures
disintegrated
at the same
the
time.
walls.
That had nothing to do with being in the realm of Palace at the time.
Orcus.
No.
Orcus.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, Orcus.
Yeah.
We're having that debate on Wednesday. Cool. So if we want to head to the meal deal, how far are they away from us now that it's been a few days since?
Not much different because they are travelling so slowly.
I was gonna say, aren't they just traveling very slowly over?
The forest.
Yeah.
About 1,000 feet above the forest.
So
Yeah.
how far away are they from us at the moment?
So, considering they're 1,000 feet above the forest, they're probably exactly the same distance they were 3 days ago.
Yeah,
Just
I
slightly that way.
I just don't remember how long it was going to take us from Lowell's
You're
settlement
expecting 2 to 3 days travel.
Okay.
The reason you're expecting 2 to 3 days travel is you've got to go up quite a way.
Yeah, I think going up that high would take a while.
Is Caltrix with us? Can we still use it to ride next? Or are we stuffed?
Well, you look around and Calcrix seems to have been caught up elsewhere while you were busily searching around.
With Nadal?
With a note saying she'll be back,
Back later.
not saying when.
Useless by now.
Well, given my mount and my my carpet, plus the fact we've also got at least one broom of flame,
Yep, which I'm currently holding.
and Dracnomir can fly, we've got enough flight between us.
Cool.
Well, your carpet carries 2,
Yes,
the broom carries 1,
my mount carries 2.
mount carries 2. Right.
Yeah,
A foot mount,
yeah.
And Drizzle always seems to make it there with his car.
Yeah, him flying I can see. His cart, I'm not going to think about how that's doing it.
Don't want to ask.
Well, I'm thinking Thor, goats, and chariots.
Well, you never see it flying.
It just happens to be there.
Yes.
I have, as a player, I have no doubts because I know what Hildren senses every time she does a primeval awareness.
Yeah, I can see that.
She
It made
senses
things hard.
she senses demons nearby.
Yeah.
Fiends,
And-
dragon, from
yeah.
the cart as well, dragon, fiend, and fae.
Mhm.
As well as dragon and fae from Drazzle and another party
Yeah,
member.
considering what it hooks to, I'm not entirely surprised of all of those.
Cool.
Though Lowell has seen that the wagon implements artifacts from all 5 spheres.
Yes.
From
Yes.
another world.
Yes. I've seen some of the symbols that showed up under it when it activated at one point. And yeah, it's got a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff in it.
While this group was in another world, Drazzle stole their magic.
It's
Yeah.
just a do not touch.
Yeah, I saw that and went, I'm standing over here, thank you.
Yeah, that's how Hildren, after the first
Yeah.
primeval awareness, she's
that's
always a decent
perfectly-
distance away.
Perfectly good reaction.
And you have a feeling that
Yeah.
that's the power that gave the wagon the ability for you to get there in the first place.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, because circular results is one of the things Drazzle does.
The action happens way after the result of the action, or the other way around, depending on how lucky you are.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he's a causality hacker, that's why.
But you can
Yes.
guarantee that something will happen when he is around.
Yes.
so, does anybody else have anything they want to do while we're still at the Wells settlement?
Good to go.
Well, I'm still waiting for my ballista to turn up, but I don't think he'll turn up there, so...
It may have turned up at
I like
your.
that a while.
It may have turned up at your house, considering it is quite a large thing.
Yeah,
that's
did you
big.
check the shipping address?
The other day,
I didn't know I even had a house.
the other day, Martin and I were joking about it just appearing as a ballista on the ground with no cart and no people. And how do we deal with that?
Magical delivery.
Yes.
Castle-sized ballista.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did find that ballista for him that would be dwarven made.
Well, at least it's not the dragon-made one.
That. Yeah, that's the castle-sized one.
No, that's the one that is bigger than the castle.
Yeah.
You try to put it on the castle, and there goes the castle. It's just a platform.
Yeah. Well, they sort of did do that, just not castle-sized.
Okay, so shall we?
Yeah. And that makes the best thing they make you for the curative.
Yes.
Shall we head then?
Yep.
As long as we don't have any random encounters, the night before we're likely to hit the Mialdil tribe clan, Hildren is going to wait. No. One night, Seika goes to bed. The next morning, Ma'ika wakes up.
Alright. Which aspect is this again?
Autumn.
Okay.
She's the upper class. I figure we're going to be
Snooty.
dealing with high class elves, and
Yep.
she would be known to them.
Fair.
I've actually put in details of them for me to be able to reference them.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 days flight it took you to arrive just on coming on sunset to see this beautiful forest floating above the forest below.
That's cool.
Looking majestic, sort of like a immense druid's grove.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can see tree ants looking out from the sides.
Yes. Because defenders.
Well, they're moving the trees, so the tree shepherds are always good to go with the trees.
Yes. Just thinking of the amount of power needed to fly that. Of course, the tree will give them sufficient for that, no problem.
The tree has no power, or they couldn't move it.
Well, okay, so the collected power of the grove is doing it. Yeah.
They had enough power to grow a forest almost overnight.
Okay.
Yeah, so wherever they set down, which is where we want them to, hopefully, is going to be...
Have a forest to begin with.
It's going to be settled really quickly. Which is great.
Well, they'll have to get it underground.
No problem. Good. No problem at all.
And it looks as if
We'll just grow a hole.
looks as if they've almost rebuilt all the settlement of theirs with
Okay.
designed for travel in the air instead of just ripping the trees up that they had.
Right, so all windows on the aft side, that sort of thing.
Or no actual railing on the outside of the settlement.
That too. Yes.
Makes it very hard for someone to accidentally fall off the tree and miss the ground.
Yes, because there's nowhere to fall off.
That may be art of flying, as described by Spike McGilligan.
Yes.
Throwing yourself at the ground, then missing.
Yes.
Well,
She
there's two
does
bits
not
of
so
ground
much
they can
fly
miss. There's the
as
one they're
float.
flying on and the one that's not moving. And most elves don't learn flying magic.
No.
Until it's too late.
Even I don't. Yet.
Because it's not something that is intrinsic to what they do.
No. No. Although I'm going air, so it's going to be appropriate.
Okay.
I usually have, I'm going from here to there, rather than I'm flying somewhere.
And as you're coming in, you see that the tree ants open up part of the tree screen on the outside,
Yeah.
as if they were expecting you.
Thunderbird Island. Island of Thunderbirds. Before the palm trees lie down flat.
Not falling down like they're made out of plastic.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Well,
spec if they did.
Maika just flies straight through, like
Yeah.
totally expected that they would clear a path for her.
And as you come in, you
Yeah.
see that there are elven stone structures throughout the island to go with the trees and the homes they have up in the trees. Because they didn't have enough space to put everything if they tried to put them on the trees.
Yeah.
The trees are about a tenth the size of their home trees.
Yes.
So going
Your
up
full-size
about
home trees
going
is
up about 40 to 50 feet.
Yeah.
Not enough to build their entire village on.
This is one of the reasons I, or at least Claw, has, well, me myself as well, has been doing research on alternate trees that can be used for this, because places like Yalarum, at least the slightly more fertile bits of Yalarum, might have trees that are appropriate to the task, that aren't tall, but they are broad. You've ever seen a baobab tree? A good-sized baobab tree, they're known as house trees by the people who live there. A full-size baobab tree in cross-section is basically square. It's a block of wood that's a cylinder with branches coming off the top of it. And usually, because of course it goes outwards and you get the heart dies and can collapse, you actually end up with the whole interior is hollow. So breeding on that is something that he's started working on and talking to the druids about, because replacing the present elf home trees with oversized baobabs
May actually work in Yalarum.
it would work anywhere, because from what you've told me of what Alfheim is going to be like when the water goes away, they'll grow here great.
Okay, so, coming in, you are welcomed mostly by the tree keeper and his champions.
Yeah.
Partly because, as far as they were concerned, you shouldn't have been able to find them.
Well,
Mainly because you're not one of their clans, so they didn't think you were smart enough.
I don't think they were
you know
exactly
what
hiding.
heard of me?
You know their reputation because they're the learned elves. They think
I
they're
know.
the smartest elves around, and no one's
Yes.
their equal. So think Dimitri as a elven clan.
Yeah, okay, I can see that sort of attitude.
Obviously, clearly smart.
Maika just floats up, like swans up to the Grove Keeper and goes, "Hi, I love what you've done with the place. Looks perfect for travel. How are you guys going?"
He seems to be quite taken with your character, having already met you a couple of times.
It's lovely to see you again. I think the last time was that at the party.
Mainly because he has absolutely no sense of humour, and all the other tree keepers think of this one as the one they go to for information.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But this is one of the reasons why, because you know everybody,
Mm-hmm.
because they've all visited. But one of the things with me doing a lot of stuff with downtimes on Renown, almost everybody should know of me, particularly since I've been aiming at Alfheim.
He knows of you, but he thinks less of you because you associate with non-Elfheim elves.
Yes.
Because he thinks there are Elfheim elves, and then there are non-Elfheim elves or people, but he doesn't really care. They're just not Elfheim.
And technically, Maika's family is not Violian. They are considered Alfie.
Well, you are a Fey elf, so
You're more elf than elf.
Yep.
you
Yes.
are welcome in most societies of elves as a Fey elf.
Yeah.
Even the Blood Elves welcome you, except for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But most people wouldn't know
Here comes the victim.
that she's
Yeah.
Violian. She would just be a
You're one
high
of
class elf. Like
Yeah.
her entire.
Yeah.
She's
They see the ones who can change their season to be sort of like blessings in their communities, so they're always welcome.
Yeah, well, Maika, all of Sega's family at the circus,
Yeah.
every single one has a persona that is related to, like, they are presented as part of this particular family.
Okay.
So she's technically got an older brother, an older sister, a father figure, a younger sister, and a younger brother.
It's always great to meet a lot of the snooty elves that way.
Yes. So,
Yes,
like, she's doing the, how's the family? How's it going here? Oh, it's
Yes.
so sad that you have to move.
Yes.
We might have a deal. We might have a solution for you. We've been doing a lot of things, and of course we're trying to help you out.
And
Yes, you disarm them, and I meet them at their level.
Yes.
Play real estate
and
agent.
Llewellyn does notice that they have brought their entire library along with them, and it's what
I'm-
most of the stone structure is. The island
I'm
itself is the library.
Really not surprised.
Well, it's it's known as the biggest library of the world.
And it's also a power in its own right, and that might be a large part of what's flying this thing.
The fact that they also
Flights of knowledge.
they have relics in there
Lots of fantasy.
Yes.
and stuff that aren't
That's the
supposed to
other section.
exist,
I'm not entirely surprised.
because sometimes they can't destroy tech.
Right. We got some people who can, but they're not going to want to give it to them.
Oh, you don't even think they can?
Oh, that sort of tech.
Yeah.
I know someone who can do something about it, though.
Well, you know people who can use it. You'd be unlikely to know anyone who could destroy it.
Raphael.
Yeah. Not even Raphael could destroy it.
He could throw it into the sun, though.
Yes, but it might not take.
Yeah, there is that. He could give it to Ixion and get him angry.
There are tech that are also artifacts, and at that point they can't be destroyed.
Well, and that's by very, very specific methods. Then you've got to find out how that works.
And they can't research it with magic because magic can't determine that.
Yes.
So that's one of the loopholes in artifacts. If you make it with tech, you can't use magic to divine it. You can't even detect if it's magical.
But you can look it up in tech libraries.
Yes.
And other research. Which means a lot of freaking travelling. You need a lot of travelling anyway.
So, in part of
Yeah.
my constant stream of polite social babble, I'll go, oh, and this, so we think we found a solution. This is my wonderful friend Llewell. He's so helpful, and he has a proposal for you that would be very, very useful.
The tree keeper says, "Not his problem. Talk to the clan chief," and stomps off with the some elves. You sort of hear him grumbling about having to deal with too cheerful an elf.
Thank you for getting us an invitation to the clan chief.
Do I know
Not-
where the
not-
clan chief would be?
Not
Although-
here because you've never been to their
Yeah.
this island.
Although, given me, he's going to see me anyway.
The
So-
captain of the grove gives Llewell a big hug.
Do I know this person?
You've never met him.
But he's heard stories.
He's heard stories,
Right.
and he has heard great things about you.
Okay.
Does he say anything about the speech over the communication system?
He does not, but he's heard great things about you.
Right. I hope to find out what you have heard
Oh, that'll
At
take a
some
long
point.
time, he says.
at some point.
You're a point of contention amongst all the clan chiefs.
What type of contention?
All they hate you with a passion.
Given the speech I gave, I'm not entirely surprised.
He loves it.
Well, if they don't like it, they've probably gone anyway. And if they
Oh
do
no,
like it, no.
his clan chief also hated it. So,
Well,
but he did abandon half his people because they weren't nobles,
thereby making my point,
which
So,
is why
which
he
is a
which is why he
reason-
thinks you're fantastic.
and why the clan chief really dislikes me, because I've proven him to be him.
Yeah.
So I'll just take that into advisement when I'm talking to him.
Well, he also
Approach it that
says
way.
try not to poke them because it's a sore point because they did not have the power to take everyone.
No, well, I'm not
And-
going to poke because that would be rude, and
He also says the
It-
magic would
Yeah.
not work on those not of noble blood.
Yeah,
That's a bit
well, I can
elitist.
also see that.
It is definitely with their high magic. Their high magic is blood magic as well.
Yeah, and it's noble blood. And yeah, I'm not going to bring it up because it's a decision they had to make, and I don't want to get thrown off I don't want to get thrown off a flying island.
Though the Red Arrows have taken their entire clan.
Because they could.
Oh, well, they're going by ground.
Exactly.
And they see no distinction between nobility and not noble.
Yeah, because from their point of view, everyone's
Everyone's
a red arrow.
Everyone's a fighter.
Yeah,
Everyone deserves to fight.
yeah,
And your might proves your ability to lead.
yes.
And if you can't lead people, then you are someone who's led. And so that's their entire thing. You could be
Yeah.
king of their thing and still be told what to do by a sergeant.
Yeah, because when it comes to war,
This is only right and
I was
proper.
going to say, I'm sure Father Pat likes that. Yeah.
because when it comes to war, they're the ones in charge. Yes, officers direct, sergeants make it work.
And there would
So,
also be
yeah.
the clan that Father Pat would be most afraid of.
Yeah, makes sense.
That they never treated humans well,
Mm-hmm.
and they outclassed humans like 10 to 1.
Well, they've got 100 years more practice minimum.
Their low-level ones outclassed humans 10 to 1.
Yeah,
So it was always scary whenever they made an appearance, and they always made an appearance when they wanted to kill things.
yeah,
It was never a show of force. They showed up, they killed.
yeah. Because that's
So
what
Father
they
Pat would
do.
respect them.
Well, part of what they do is protect the rest of all of Alfheim
And
from
they-
bad things.
And they don't go to war
So they
for
get lots of practice.
for a win. It's
No.
always for a reason.
Yeah,
And it has to be a good enough reason for their tree keeper to agree to it.
the master. Wait, easy. So, oh dear.
So do I know the captain of the
You know the captain pretty well. He's one of the few of the place who met every newcomer to their society
Mm-hmm.
and gauged their weight, and generally found out things about people that you weren't quite sure how they knew, but they never use it against them.
This is the one we're with, yeah?
This is the one you're with.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And he was the one that said yes or no to people entering the community.
Okay. So I wait for him to stop fanboying.
Yeah. I will introduce him to everyone else once
It takes a while.
his name.
And then I'll say, oh, it's lovely to see you again, dear. We did just get an invitation to see the clan leader. Is there any chance we could go and meet him? We have a very, very useful thing, and it might be a bit time sensitive.
Says, well, yes, he can arrange that. The clan leader had meant to come out, but got told to stay put by the tree keeper.
Let's hope that doesn't make him more tetchy.
Yes.
Well, technically, the tree keeper outranks the clan chief,
Yeah.
but the clan chief is the one who makes all the political decisions.
Yes, but political decision and community decision are not the same
Well,
thing.
one's
So-
considered the spiritual decision,
Exactly.
which is the,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you've got the captain of the guard
Yeah.
of the tree
Doing military.
doing all the military stuff.
Yes.
And yeah, when he says that,
And-
I'll laugh and I'll go, isn't it so funny when with politics? It would just be so much easier if we could cut through all that. But, as I said, we are in a little bit of a time crunch, so we would love to go and see him. I'm assuming I've met him before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen him since this, and da-da-da-da-da. You know, the constant sort of like host babble where they don't really
Yes.
give you a chance to think.
Well, you know that you know that this
So
clan
they're a
chief
con
is
Constantly.
Yes.
one of the few who constantly changes his sexual appearance because
Yep.
it is very gender fluid.
Yes, one of my staff is like that. One of the town staff.
Basically, unlike most of the ones like that, they will go from
Change
appearing completely male and actually
Yep.
being male and registering as male to looking completely female
Yeah.
and being female and registering as female.
That's
And
an
this
interesting
is
way to be
the
a
captain,
season.
yeah?
Yeah.
No, that is the clan chief.
Clan chief.
Right. So that's an interesting way of being a season fae. Because there's nothing saying what gender you are when you change season.
And they are a season fee.
Yeah.
Because the chances of being a winter male, given how cold it is, and the impact on a lot.
That's how it goes.
Yes. But it does mean that they're going to have to take account of what season he's in when I'm speaking to him. As
And
well.
though you'd also
Then-
say that the winter ones are always the hardest ones to deal with because they are the strongest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always the strongest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strongest of mind as well as strongest of other
Is
things.
this
So-
like, are they season Fae the way
Yeah.
I'm season Fae? Like, okay,
But
Except they are far more advanced.
yeah.
They are purely Fae, not just Elven
Uh,
Fae-like. They
Um,
are Fae.
Would I have had more social interactions with the clan leader, or
It would have just been a gathering and being in the presence, and they always have whatever season they are permeating the room.
so
Yeah.
no fun around the outsides of the party then?
no.
And they also are members of the actual Fae court, not actual nobles, but full members.
Yes. Which means I get a bonus on interacting with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the elven one that sits on the Fae court for the whole of Elfing.
Fancy.
Very fancy. Plus, I've got knowledge about them because I've got Fae as a specialisation from
Which means I
nature.
should look up and make sure I've got the right one.
Yes.
Where did I put that book? It's not that one.
I'm trying to remember if I have any advantages in talking to Fae.
Yeah, I've got an invocation that
5
Boosts
advantages,
it.
not saying anything.
Well,
Yeah, makes
considering I'm technically part Fae,
Yeah.
but I don't think I specifically have a feat or anything that helps me.
Our contributions is
well, being part Fae is the
I'm not
bonus
there.
there.
Our contribution
But-
to
is
say nothing. Whoops.
shedding your hiccup.
days.
Yeah, yeah, but
So
I have.
I know what I think.
Yeah, but I have an invocation of the courts. So I get a notable bonus. Actually, I've got a second one. Yeah, an advantage in interaction and law checks.
No.
So I get, when dealing with them,
Oh, it was
nature, I
That's my
get
mistake.
advantage and an expertise dice.
Mm.
With persuasion, which is what I'm going to be using, because it's persuasion, specialised negotiation, talking to Fae, means I've got advantage and a D6 expertise die.
If we are entering into negotiation, and I'm not hiding and trying to be a servant, I have a whole lot of feats that will help out.
Excellent.
And my armour is all about compromise. It's all
Yep.
about backing up and
Yep. Plus there's a
my
ritual.
suit of compromise.
Yeah. Plus there's a ritual I can do on myself to give myself an extra D6.
So yes, if
D6
I am
would be
beside you, there is a
Yes.
lot I can do.
Yeah. Well, if you
And-
are going to continue to do assistant to the diplomat, I'm cool with that.
Well, that's what that's why I put
Exactly.
that form.
Yes.
Okay, so the one thing you do remember about this king is that when this clan chief, is when he's in male form, he's one of the few elves to have a beard and generally a long beard.
That is interesting.
Mm.
I hope for the beard. I don't think I've ever seen.
Don't make me judge.
Yeah, wouldn't touch that with a barge pole.
And the other thing that always stands out is that he has a strange walking stick that looks like it's made out of wood, but it doesn't sound like wood.
Right. Yeah. How long was that last for? Only 10 minutes. Oh, I just have to do it as a high pass.
And the captain takes you to where you expect, the main office of the library,
Mm.
because he's also the head librarian of the clan. He's the one you have to convince to enter the library and
Yeah.
access any of the knowledge within.
Might be
So
worth seeing
polite-
if they have anything. If we can get into the library, might be worth
Yeah.
seeing if they have anything to help with the book.
Oh,
And
yeah, definitely.
in the entire time that the Violent Elves have been trying to get in, not a single one has made it in.
Yeah, but considering we're in a war with the Master and I'm the champion of one of the other clans, although
You do think it's
It's-
touch and go, partly because the knowledge inside
yeah.
could, if it gets out of the library, be accessible to others.
oh yeah,
Nothing inside the
Uh.
library can be divined.
that gets to be an interesting, because at that point it's, we would like to know this. Could you do this research for us so that I don't learn anything I shouldn't?
It's a possibility.
And
Yeah.
the library doesn't contain any media knowledge, if they're taking it to your lower.
Well, while it stays inside the library, it's going to be fine. Yeah. But yes, if I do guest of honor on myself first, gives me another bonus as well.
Okay. So, doesn't take you too long to get in there. Does anyone want to do any preparations before meeting the most annoying library keeper you could ever imagine?
know his
Cleaning
name?
up first.
His name is Mealy Dan Mealadil.
I find that statement hard to believe.
He's a descendant
Me
of
too, as a
the
library.
Guardian of the Elves.
Steely Dan?
Mealy down.
Mealadin.
Mealadil.
Yeah.
So he's that Mealadin is the name of their god.
Yeah.
Mealadil is the name of the clan. He's a direct descendant of the founder of Alfheim and the first Fey King god of Alfheim.
Is that Isildur? Or?
No, that is Mealadin.
Yeah.
Elsendal is the one who founded the Sylvan Realm,
Yeah.
and he
Yep.
became their first king and god of that realm.
Yeah.
I am just following
Got a
whatever direction that the party elves give me. Not like
But you are the
party,
party
but like
Not
I am the
even
party elf. In this form, I am totally the.
At
There are
least it's-
two
Yeah, no,
forms in
at
which
least
I'm
it's
the
safe.
party
I am
elf.
following
Yes.
along with whatever advice
Yeah.
that Luell and Mika are giving.
My spring and
And with us
autumn
meaning a
Yeah.
librarian,
Uh,
the one
my
rule
summer
I know
form
is
is
in a library.
Barbral
And that's
Tavern
going to
party
be-
elf.
Yeah.
My way
Um,
of approaching this
So very much
is
with the sergeant.
not doing anything.
Rika
When
is
I was a
my
kid, I used to
spring
remove
one,
the
and
book
she's
I was up
the
to by ripping them out.
lower class, the non-noble
I don't think I'll practice that technique.
party.
now.
I don't think so.
And Naika is the higher class.
Yeah. Definitely worth doing guest of honor as well. But yes, cleaning up and getting the dust of travel off ourselves first up. Give ourselves a bit of time to prepare.
You are taken to a chamber to freshen up.
Yep.
Not
Well, in
far
that case,
from the actual.
The old bastard make sure all
library.
weapons are polished and shiny and appropriately.
Well, they do say, "Oh, no weapons allowed in the library,
Oh, okay.
unless you want them to stay there."
Then we won't take our weapons into the library.
That would make me
Does
very
that
sad.
include this? I say, patting the sword.
He says, "Yes, clan swords in the library generally don't leave."
Fair.
Or at least while their owner is alive.
That could be more of a problem.
Yes. I'll persuade it to stay there.
For my health sword, please stay there.
Basically,
Let them all wait outside,
yes.
rather than decide to prepare the blade.
And he also points out Russell's still not welcome in the library since the last time.
I'm not going to ask.
I don't
I gotta
want-
find out what the last time was.
Yes. But don't think we should ask them.
It could be worse. They could have said, Basil's still not welcome because of what happened next time.
Yeah, well, that would,
Yeah.
be, that would be even more confusing. Yes.
Could be
a
accurate.
water sphere library, I could see that statement being made.
I feel like maybe he was doing what Like you were saying, he got in the library when he was done with the page, we figured it out.
Yeah.
Page.
Oh, you were page out of the book I was up to.
Right.
I'm just checking. I ran out of ink for my stuff, so I'm just checking my suit of compromise
Yes.
and what charms I want.
Yes. I'm going to assume this counts as a weapon. I say, holding up my wand.
He goes, nope, it's not a weapon.
Very well.
Other question is, can you take it into the
Well-
library and leave with it?
Well, it doesn't have the historical or elven significance of some of my other gear.
Are you sure?
I know where it came from. Of course, they may want it anyway.
That's what I'm saying. You are a person of significance now. Keep that in mind.
Yes. I'm also going to leave my.
There's upside and downside.
I'm also leaving my bag out here. I'm going to have to persuade it to stay as well. How
You're
many
gonna
people
have-
do you know how to talk to the gear to
I was
get
going
it
to
to
say, do
stay
you have to
there?
have the sword babysit the bag? Like, what's that
Now, you
situation?
please stay with the sword.
Well, you're not
Yeah.
sure which one will misbehave.
Exactly.
I'm going to ask them to look after each other.
You
That
tell,
may not be a wise
tell
move.
the other one that they're in charge. That they have to keep an eye on the other one.
Dear.
And then come back, the sword's busy prepping to trying to come out of the bag and trying to wrap itself up, yeah.
And then you pick them back up again and they're just arguing.
Well, you do know your sword can't be stolen, so...
Yes.
True.
And anyone trying to steal the bag is going to have a bad time.
True.
So-
bad.
Well, no, you just don't have to worry about them.
Okay, they're not going to have much of a time left. Yes.
So I have an inspiration
Um,
die on any negotiations where I introduce
Yeah.
a compromise into the discussion,
Mm-hmm.
and if it is rejected, as long as it was a fair compromise, I gain a secret from each of the sides
Yep.
of the discussion.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
I actually will leave the rod out here as well, because this one does actually have elven significance.
Okay.
Because this is the one I got from while doing things with Tree of Life.
Okay, we'll just assume that whatever you wanted to leave out has... Can we turn
Yeah.
the music off, please?
Yes.
I am
Oh.
trying to, yes. It wasn't supposed to start. I had it all off.
Yeah.
But it's done.
Sorry, it sort of
it's
goes
right.
through me very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, the rod's out. Both my swords are out. I think the shield.
So
out as
we'll
well
put
as
it down.
the
We
wand.
assume that the
I'm
weapons
going in
you've
just
have
clothing.
all been left out.
Just going with clothing. That's fine.
Because they gave you a warning.
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
And as you enter into the library, you are welcomed by the clan master and librarian.
Yeah.
You get very much an Elven Dumbledore feeling from him.
Okay. As one would expect.
And from
Yeah.
Seeker's perspective, he has the same eyes as the captain.
Okay.
Okay.
And making you think he may be the captain's father. Sort of thing, and may also be the reason why the captain just knows so much.
Yeah.
Grew up in the library.
Or may
Oh,
actually be told
yeah.
by this guy who seems to know everything.
Yeah.
Everything that reaches the place, the captain of the guard always knows a lot about that person.
Well, the captain of the guard is, if he's doing his job, will know a lot about many things.
But that's
See
the
if there's
thing
anything
that
else
Seeker
I
picks
want
up immediately is you've got the a similar but stronger presence from this person as you get from the captain.
Sweet. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out if I wanted to keep anything on me, like any of my items or anything, and I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Or if I wanted anything particularly attuned, but nothing I think is going to help in this situations. I've probably got my midnight pearls on my ears and my secret catchy pearls on just because I'm in this form, and she tends to have that jewelry on.
Yeah.
It's
And
appropriate to you. Yes.
you have a very much sense of loss and sorrow as you enter the room.
Okay.
All of us or just...
All of you, it just permeates the room, and each
Wow.
of you has that remembrance of things you've lost and been parted
Yeah.
from.
Well, given what they've had to do, I can entirely see that.
That's
Which means Seeker instantly knows which season he is.
Yeah.
Winter.
No.
No.
Autumn, is it?
Nope. There are 5 seasons.
Oh,
That's
okay.
So, there's of course
Same as
the
there are
4.
5 spheres.
Yeah, the 5th one is sorrow or change. So
Yeah.
it's the season of between seasons, and
Right.
that's actually what Seeker is when she's in
Yeah.
that form.
Yeah.
She's the sorrow form,
Yeah.
and it's based in entropy.
Mm.
Yeah, fair. Okay. So, real sad.
Makes everyone feel sad as they enter the room because it's basically unintentionally pushes the emotion on everyone around him.
Yeah. Okay.
And you've got a feeling of sorrow, of maybe having lost 800 years of history.
I mean,
Yeah.
there with like how they very quickly had to get up and
Yeah.
go. So.
Well, not just that,
And-
they've just lost Alpine.
And
Yeah.
the decisions of losing those they couldn't take with them also weighs heavily on him,
Yeah.
in the sense of he didn't want to leave them behind.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that these are the elves who only took the nobles?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here we have a noble who doesn't believe they made the right call.
He
Well,
didn't want to make the
He
call.
didn't want it to be. He had no choice.
Martin's already said he made the call he had to because the people who weren't nobles couldn't come with them.
Oh, right, okay.
The
Yeah.
magic doesn't work
The
on
magic doesn't work on
non-noble blood.
Yeah. Even if they wanted to, even if they were standing in the right place, they wouldn't have come with them.
Right, okay.
The
So-
magic to animate their escape wouldn't have activated.
Yeah.
The moment,
Too many other people there.
the
Yeah.
moment I feel the sorrow, the battle
Ah.
stops, and she just sort of bows and says, "Lovely to see. It's so. While it is in such sorrowful times, it is always an honour to see you."
Yes. And because she always speaks first, I'm going to let her and then introduce us and do the formal stuff.
Particularly as
Yeah, well-
with the stuff the captain said,
Yeah.
I'm trying to take the lead.
Well, the
And
other
he,
thing
and he
is
says,
you're-
"Nice to see you
know-
again, Seeker," using
Yeah.
your other name.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I know they
Did they
know
pick up
you.
on that?
Probably not straight away.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It is, as I said, it is
Yeah.
always an honour, and
Mm.
I do wish to pay respects to the loss that your community has had, but we might have an agreeable proposal for you.
So he pulls out a book and says, "So you wish to convince me to go to Yalarum? It says here that you're coming here to convince me to go to Yalarum today."
Oh, so you put it in your agenda. That's good.
You are as well informed as always, and like
Doesn't say so here.
smiles at him like
That's eyelashes.
it's a game recognizing game sort of thing. I am here with my wonderful companions. We have
Doesn't quite say that either.
we
He
have
prefers, a little less flowery and more factual.
we have Llewell.
I will cover that side of things for us.
We have
The
Llewell.
Shadow Elf Prince, yes.
Call it out immediately.
I'd already figured that one out.
Yeah, you got told last time. Yeah.
Lani.
Given what
from
given the
Arendi?
book that he's just read from, I'm not surprised that came
Lani
up.
of many titles.
Queen of the Underworld.
That's a new one. Thank you.
But Lani, who's not a cook or a singer.
And what's Father Pat's real name?
Michael O'Shaughnessy.
And Sergeant Michael O'Shaughnessy.
Oh yeah, the guy who lost a leg in a bet.
A bet?
Bet.
Sounds like you're
Try not to get drunk next time you're with your friends.
Right. I don't recall that bit.
Well, you wouldn't have attacked the Atruaghin if you hadn't have been drunk.
And
Well, I'm
obviously,
following my
that's
friend
not
who happened to be the
before
captain.
You've been telling people about how you lost your leg.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
In a
bringing
le-
a whole new meaning to losing an arm and leg.
In a level or so,
Exactly.
in a level or so, I'm going to be fixing it for him anyway. So
Yes, if he needs it fixed.
if he needs it fixed, it'll be available.
Well, it might have been I was just following my captain.
Which still may have been a lost bet from
Well,
somebody.
then he lost the bet, not me.
Yes,
But still, you lost it in a bet.
Yes, that's true.
yes. So I will do the full formal stuff.
He stops you partway through the full formal stuff and says, "It already tells me you don't need to tell me."
And that's about as far as I thought I'd need to get to.
I like the way
Very
this
much.
guy works.
Don't waste time.
You have your book and I have my job. But we have got to the point where you are done. So,
He sort of looks at you expectantly. The book says to wait for you.
right,
Like
so
green eggs
now I
and
get
hens,
my
that
spiel
way.
on this is what we're presenting for Alarum and for us and for you. What's available, what the place that we're offering, the position we're offering, and how this is a benefit for yourselves, for elves as a whole, and for Alarum, and all of us together, including trade and other things.
It's a win-win-win.
And also including strengthening everybody for fighting the master.
And it also protects them from the master because
That
the
too.
Sultan has told us that
Yes,
the master will not come to Yalarum,
yes,
Yeah.
that's going to be a big part of. This is how things are going to help everybody.
which means it's a prophecy,
You being
which
in
means it
Alarum
has
means
to
you
happen.
can't be taken out by the master.
Right? He laughs at that point. First time you actually heard him laugh. In all the times you've seen him in court, he never
Well.
laughs. Especially in a sorrow form.
According to the Sultan, anyway.
And he points down a book. Now I can read it.
Right.
Well, I couldn't read it until you told me.
Well, that's
Because it says I couldn't know until you told me.
Yeah. But there is the situation. Would you like me to roll?
Oh no, he knows now of what you're offering, and it says here that you'll make it happen by fixing something.
Does it say what?
Yes, it does. And it says you'll happily do it.
I'm sure we
I'll
will happily be of
lots
service to
of
you.
He says if you fix it, he has no reason to go to Window.
And what needs to be fixed?
Window.
Excellent.
North of Galantry.
Yes.
It's a place that you couldn't get into. The Vialian elves just can't get into that place.
I feel like once I get powerful enough, this is how I should convince people to do things. You'll be happy to do it. It says so right here.
Is it one instead of
But
discreetly
as long
taking notes?
Yeah, but as long as it is actually something that's going to be useful. But have those things planned. Sort of, yeah.
And his
So-
thing has limitations. Partly he can't know certain things.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it tells him he can't know it.
Yeah. But it also tells him when he can't know it until.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need one of these fancy books.
No, you're not.
I think at that point I would ask,
It's called
I would
Basil's
say,
novels.
Wenda,
Yeah.
is that going to be a problem for me?
Yes, he says. It says so right here. But of course, Llewell will make the difference and make the promise.
Excellent.
Can I make a cultures check to find out about Wenda?
Yes, you can.
Or
but,
history, actually.
because it is a prominent elven nation, you know it is predominantly what you would call high elf culture.
Right.
So high elf that if you're not a high elf, you're considered a servant.
Okay, so you're not. If you
Well, it's not too far different from stuff we've already encountered.
And up until recently, they're protected by an artifact that kept undead out of their nation. And
Oh,
That
So,
one.
Until recently.
is it the one we're thinking of?
the one Calcrete stole, yes.
Ah, no, that's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of the Black Flame.
It's also the place that's neighbouring Moldavia, where the 5 great undead are currently at war with each other.
So
Yeah.
basically, you're between two undead armies in Wenda, and one of them's coming from who they believe stole their item.
Okay.
So they just need you to deal with Denagath.
Right. So what do I know about Denagath?
Not
But you
much
probably don't
because,
want to deal with them.
because it's reputed to be run by a lich.
Oh, Denagath is the country.
Am
not
I
a
getting the
person.
same response?
Pretty much. Denagath is not something the living are known to leave from.
Right.
But then again, it's never had a huge number of heroes try to do it a second time. The first lot of heroes who went there were all elves and they didn't go so well.
What other characters benefit?
They turned into inhabitants.
Oh no, they gave up their bargaining chip to a dragon
Mhm.
who flew off with it.
That
Yeah.
sounds painful.
And they were no longer protected from the undead.
Mm.
So they got chopped into little bits.
Well, they were carrying. If you know the weapon Black Razor,
Yeah.
they had that
Oh. So why did they let a dragon leave with it?
because they gave it to the dragon.
Was it, is that
Because the
why?
player in question,
Was an idiot.
yeah,
The dragon asked.
Yes.
It doesn't
Is
explain
the
why
dragon
they
we're
gave
talking
it to them.
Calcrix?
No, because the dragon asked.
It was
There
a
are lot
black
of people who
dragon.
go, don't say no to a dragon. Usually with good reason.
because the dragon couldn't take the weapon without it being given. No matter what it did to the people,
Right.
it had to be given.
Right.
But
And it
they knew
couldn't-
what it was for and why it was necessary for them to have it.
What do I know about Black Razor?
It's bloody scary.
Black Razor belongs to probably the nicest of all the gods of entropy. Basically the person that a lot of the spies try to emulate because he can basically convince anyone to do anything, and a lot of diplomats follow him for the sense of he can always come up with a compromise at everyone's expense.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Masawadu, I think it is. I can't remember it quite off the top of my head, but his holy symbol is a Y or a crossroads.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's have a look.
Because this is a very simple holy symbol.
Yeah.
I can
And
also
then
bring
you
it.
have it on your.
I do have it on here, which is handy.
What was his name again?
Starts with, I should be able to find it.
Yeah. Because I was looking for Immortals of Diplomacy and I didn't see him. Obviously, I wasn't looking at the bad boys.
Actually, it might not actually be him. It's that was a different one. I know
Because he
he's
sounds like somebody that Seika would be
Interested.
Yeah.
very interested in and probably knows a bit about.
okay. I seem to have given the wrong symbol to the
Because-
wrong person.
Whoops.
Okay,
Technically.
so
Yeah.
it is Masauwu, known as the Master of Intrigue and the Ambassador.
That's a woo. Interesting.
And he is
Charismatic Nithian con man.
We haven't discussed who Seika's god is, have we?
Oh,
Really?
this is a scary one to actually follow because
Yeah.
unlike corrupted gods, he always leaves whoever he helps worse off than they started with, but they've compromised.
Yeah. Look at the domains. Arcana, corruption, hunger, lust, and trickery.
Well, that is dependent
Yeah.
on
I
that
mean-
source. The sources are all
Yes.
A
different.
couple
Well,
of
yeah,
them,
this is
yes,
what you've got
but
in
not
here.
the corruption.
Yeah.
Seika
symbol
isn't
looks,
into corruption, she's into
Yeah.
the other things.
looks like the letter Y, but represents a crossroads. Fair enough.
Lust and trickery,
At least I
definitely.
remembered all the details, and it's
Yeah.
not on my site at the moment.
Yeah. Yes. Patron title keywords.
The sad point to the way
So-
that the original version of this was written up is everything atropic was automatically evil,
Yeah.
as was everything
right.
chaotic was
Yeah.
automatically
See,
evil.
that's
Yeah,
my
plus-
problem, is
well-
that Seika probably connects with
Yeah.
an entropic god, because
Mm.
that's her main form.
That's what I'm saying. That's how it's all
Yeah.
written up on whatever source you'll look up
That's what
besides
it
my
is.
stuff.
Yeah,
is,
it's
that's
showing.
the
is
intent.
evil.
Yes.
Which
But
is
It's the thing is
not
this can
true.
be sort of more social corruption because if you go for trickery
Yeah.
and basically
Oh, I'm
So
all for social
being a
corruption.
con man,
So his version
Then,
of corruption
yeah.
is
Corrupting.
making people compromise
Yeah.
where they lose something in the compromise instead of everyone gaining.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Whereas
like Seika's
I'm the
deal.
opposite of that.
Because
So-
if you always gain something, then that's from
Then
his perspective,
he's lost.
someone's lost. Not
Yeah.
he's lost. Someone
Well,
else
yeah.
has lost.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
the zero sum
I'm not a
dimension.
diplomat, I'm a
No.
thief.
Not entropic if everyone gets better off.
Well, that's the thing. If he's zero sum, but I know how things really work. That's fine. That's his view of things.
And in
Yeah,
doing
no,
so,
Seika's not a
he
diplomat, she's a thief.
No.
he's probably the god called in by many other gods to help broker disputes, even though he's an entropy god.
Yeah.
But that's how you come up with
But that's the
compromise
thing.
on
You go
both
right.
sides.
Could you organise this for us? We're going to do the other thing.
So he'll most
So-
likely also have balance as his domain.
Yeah.
because it's
Yes.
about bringing everyone to heal,
Yeah,
so everyone's equal at the table.
yeah, rather than some being more corrupted than others.
See, that's not too bad.
But in doing so, can lessen quite a lot of things. So if an elf and a
Yeah.
goblin comes to the table, he'll bring the elf down to the goblin's level.
Yeah. Rather than bring the goblin up to the elves, which is what I would do.
Yes.
But
So,
like if Seika
yeah.
is mediating that, she would quite happily bring the elf down to the goblin's level.
Yes.
Because to be honest, the goblin may not understand going above his level.
Yeah.
That is something we need to discuss, is because we haven't
Yeah.
talked about Seika's gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought you'd like that. So we're just
Yes.
looking at.
I like what is probably the original form of
Okay.
him, which is because there's two appearances listed.
Mm.
A tall, dark-skinned man, always perfectly shaven, elegant and with a charming smile, high cheekbones and black mesmerising eyes, clad with rich silk garments. Sounds like a lion, but then he's Nethian, so yeah. His other form, a burly, wiry, 4-foot-tall black man wearing animal skins and holding a big flaming torch as a weapon.
Okay. Look, he
Yeah.
definitely sounds, as I said, like Seika's going to go for a god of entropy because that's her.
Yeah.
Like she has access to all the forms, and all the forms are her.
Yeah.
But Seika is the primary one.
Yes.
But he's also the one who teaches the diplomat craft.
Yeah.
Because, hey, it's not always going to be the thought gods or the
Yeah.
time gods. Because thought and civilization are sort of all good things for it. But
Yeah.
someone who says everyone should be treated equally frustrates the other spears completely.
Well, it depends how you do it.
Well, he's the nice guy. Everyone loves what he's doing,
Yeah.
but hates the result.
Yes. And this is really firming up what I want to do with Claude. Be the thought version of that,
Yeah.
where everyone goes up to a level, not down to a level.
Well,
That's why you and I work well, as long as we agree on the end product.
Yes, the end product is these bad guys don't like what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
I think we'll aim at that.
this is also God, also known as the recruiter for the entropy sphere.
Yeah,
So he's always looking for someone to balance out someone else.
yeah.
So yeah, like if you're
So
if
fine,
you're-
I'm going to balance him out.
well, it would be
Cool.
you and I balancing each other out, because if your stuff won't work, that's
Yeah.
when I step up.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing is, this is somewhere where I would quite happily, if we get to the point of us being immortals, I would actually make that deal with him. We're both doing the same thing. What we want to do is find someone we're going to mess up by making the deal.
Yeah.
We just do the deals in slightly different ways. So, frenemies.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he's sounding like a good candidate for Seika's god.
Yeah.
I tried to make the entropic gods
Yeah.
slightly different than intended, but
Yeah.
enough that they kept their core concept, but in
Yeah.
a way that was productive instead of just evil.
Yeah, yeah, because going for just evil, apart from its anti-otl, because he just is.
No, his version of
yeah.
helping people is
Yeah.
not nice.
No, well, that's the thing. He is explicitly a corruptor, as well as being entropy. And so, screwing things up is what he does. He is explicitly evil. He is a psychopath.
And he is far better at it than his sponsor, Thanatos,
Yeah,
than anyone wants him to be.
yeah, yeah. Because Thanatos is just directed.
I was gonna say
Xanthiotl has a real
He has
love for his
Xanthiotl
job.
has a cruelty about it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Whereas Thanatos is just
Yeah,
Thanatos doesn't
yeah.
do it cruelly, he doesn't do it kindly, he
Yeah.
just does it.
He just
that's
does. He
Thanatos. Like
Yeah,
in all
he's
forms,
he
that's
is
Thanatos.
a certain form of sociopath. He just does what he needs to do, and he does not care about what he goes through doing it.
As far as people know.
Xanthiotl, he explicitly goes out to, first up, I'm going to mess you up. Second up, there's going to be 3 layers of plan behind it, and all of them will mess you up.
And he's going to make it all
And-
your idea, and you'll be the instrument of your own destruction.
Yes.
yep.
So you'll blame yourself for every layer of what he's doing to you, and then he'll make you enjoy the result.
That's how it is.
he'll turn you into himself, basically.
And it said he's even destroyed gods that way.
Yeah, he's a
Sounds like he needs therapy.
incredible. Yeah, he's a psycho, and there's not a lot can be done about it. Well,
And he's part of the Elven pantheon, no matter how much they try to get rid of him.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's one of the reasons why there's still the bad places in Alpha.
This is a
To summarize, because I got lost in God talk
Yeah.
and stuff like that. To
Yeah.
summarize.
Oh, good.
The clan chief / head librarian is saying that we will be more than happy to go to
Wenda, he says.
Wenda and figure some stuff out.
He's sure you should be able to figure it out, though you'll have to come up with a creative solution because it says here you won't actually find what you're looking for.
And what's the problem again? Because I got lost.
All the elves are currently being overrun by undead
Mm.
because their holy artifact has been
Because the
stolen.
stuff been stolen. Okay.
And they believe it was stolen by the...
The Black Dragon?
not the Black Dragon. Just trying to make sure I get the names right so I don't actually do it badly for you. Denegoth. Land of the Shadow Lord.
Oh.
They believe the Shadow Lord is a lich,
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
though he may actually be
Yeah.
a Dark Fey Lord. Not an immortal, just a Dark Fey Lord. Much like he's a Wild Fey Lord, but he's not an immortal.
Yeah, but if he's also a necromancer, there's not a lot of difference between him and a lich. The difference is going to be how much he's going to be affected by clerics turning abilities.
The main difference is where you have to kill him.
Yes.
We don't have a cleric in the party.
A Fey Lord cannot be killed on the primal plane and stay dead.
No.
They need to go on their own and be.
If you have
Sure.
enough, yes. If you have enough power, you can bind him somewhere, but he's going to get out of that. Yeah, it's a bit scary when. Sorry, just looking at Black Razor. It's a bit scary when you get because I got history I know about stuff like this. It's a bit scary when you get an artifact where one of its basic powers is consume soul.
And it gets bigger the more souls it consumes.
Yes.
And it's now in the hands of a Black Dragon.
Yeah. Yes, it's that one.
From Critical
Yes.
Role? Yep.
No, it's
No?
originally from.
It's
'cause
most
they got-
likely the inspiration of that one.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the inspiration for that
Apologies,
one because
I
the
accidentally-
original Black Razor
have one of the
is
slightly
actually is
broken
from
ones.
one of
That's
the
good.
early modules,
I'm not sure
and
about the
novels,
mushroom sauce.
which was written by a friend of mine.
we'll deal
Hopefully
with
you
it.
like it.
Ariadne.
You should try one, they're really nice.
White Plume
I was
Mountain,
gonna say,
I'm not
the novel?
refusing.
You want
Which
to
is-
put that in?
based loosely on the original module, was written by a guy called Paul Kidd, who is now Paulie Kidd.
I've heard of Poor Kid.
Yes, I've known him for about 30 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she presently is in Perth and has been writing games and doing various other things there. And,
White Plume Mountain is a very nice module.
it's
rewrite.
Yeah, the rewrite, even the rewrite. The novel is good fun because it's set in the module. But their object is to get all the items. But it's basically a group of people playing through that as the party.
So in this setting,
But-
White Plume Mountain stole the artifacts of the
Yes.
Church of Karamikos, which were
Yeah.
those three items.
Yeah, yes,
Which is World, Black Razor, and Wave.
that's right. But the original Black Razor is from the Quorum novel by
Michael Moorcock.
Michael Moorcock.
It's a bit like it's kind of
That is what Black Razor is.
Yeah.
They basically got that sword
Yeah.
and put it in D&D and left Quorum out of it.
Yeah.
Poor Quorum. But that...
Mildebone.
Yes. Yeah.
And Black Razor is connected to the god we've just been talking about of entropy.
Yes,
Awesome.
that's why I looked
Okay,
it up.
okay.
It's his
Yeah.
blade.
It's his sword.
So was that the one keeping the undead away, or was it the thing that Caltrix had?
Undead will not approach someone holding it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing arts and crafts is a thing.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that will keep the undead away. Or we keep them busy building their own arts and crafts, and so they're not bothering people. I'm just figuring. You said creative solutions. I'm offering creative solutions.
My other character is built better for undead.
And just remember,
Not only can she turn undead, she can turn fey.
so you can predict stuff. So you can actually make arts and crafts be the solution if you
whatever
predict
fits.
it.
Or, no.
You just have to make it happen.
That's
There's
the
a
hard
particular
part.
feat she's got where you, like, with the channel divinity, you can, as well as
Yeah.
turning undead, there's another.
There's another thing you can do when you pick fate. How about this one?
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I like all of it except for the stealing souls.
So Rhiannon,
And the whole
you
point
see,
of it is a soul eater.
you see on the shelf in here is one of Drazzle's books.
Oh. Interesting.
Ah.
What was it you always write some?
One of his stories, not,
Ah.
but it's not one you are familiar with. It's about when trees fly,
So it's written about what these people are doing.
and it looks like it's been on the shelf there for over maybe 2,000 or 3,000 years.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And
Yes.
the companion title next to it is
Which-
When Pigs Fly.
Which possibly means
The next one is when elephants fly.
Yeah, well, pigs, I said. Pigs and
I
elephants.
can do that.
I've never seen an elephant.
And it does look as if it's been disturbed recently.
But they obviously picked it up to have a look.
That's an interesting point.
You
That
are a fan of a friend of ours.
Sega.
I say you.
He looks at the book and shudders.
Well, fan
that
is, a,
reaction.
fan is a strong term for that, certainly.
He says last time he spoke to him, he couldn't sleep for a month.
Too confusing, or what he actually
He
said?
gave him a prophecy.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can
that's
see
always
that.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Apparently he didn't like what I said.
So he gave him a prophecy instead.
I think that.
That'll
I
be
think,
me one day when people, if people piss me off, I'm gonna give them a prophecy.
Yeah, but then you have to make sure
Well,
the prophecy happens.
yeah, well,
Cassie said that, not Lonnie.
okay. Yes. Good. Got to make that clear. Yes, there is the thing though. If someone else gives him a prophecy that involves him doing the same thing 48 times, that's going to take a decade each, it's going to piss him off.
Yeah, but the thing is, Drussel has to make it happen. He doesn't necessarily have to follow it.
Well, yeah, he's
Which
got to make
means that-
make it happen. But this is the thing: we know he's already had things where he's had to do things multiple
I'm
times.
wondering if it's worth us trying to look at the book or not.
And you sort of
Player-
have to realise
player
there's a good
saying-
reason why Drussel has been banned from the
Player
library.
saying,
Yeah.
not character saying.
Yes.
Which means you think that
Should
it's
we-
probably the
should
next
we
time
try
he
and
meets
get access to
Drussel,
the
something
book?
happens.
Yeah. Yes, that's also well. That's happened elsewhere too.
See, it's
Yeah.
the.
I was gonna
Is
say,
it going to give us
I-
clues that might help us?
Yeah. Well.
Or is it going to be a prophecy that we then have to
Yeah.
fulfill that's going to be detrimental
why
to
Well,
us?
I
not
think-
ask?
I think we can ask for it as a boon once we actually finish
But then,
the
do we
issue
want?
that's got.
But
No,
do we
why
want Drussel's book after?
We don't want it. We don't want it.
No,
I'm
we
just
wanna
kidding.
look at it.
If it's been disturbed, I'm wondering if at some point, at some time that, there might be a clue in there.
That's
I
what.
think they've disturbed it because they want to have a look at it because they've gone. We're going to have to fly our. Hey, wait a minute. There's that book.
Yeah.
Shit, we're going to look through this now.
And it sort of looks as if the old elven fables
Yeah.
where they would say fantastical things.
Mm. And they've looked through this and gone, this is actually a manual.
The only reason it looks disturbed is because it's been sitting on the shelf for centuries and Draggle put it there yesterday.
Hey, possible.
Or possibly tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be disturbed then.
No, just disturbing. No, I think they have actually read it recently. Whenever he put it there, they've read it recently because, well, they'd basically have to, considering what they're doing.
Yeah, just to get everything
Well,
moving
it
the
would
way
be
it is
stupid for them not to.
Considering the concept of flying a
Tree.
trees is something you would not even imagine
Yeah.
in your
No.
wildest dreams. It
Well,
would be just
particularly-
a fantastical tale of
Well-
powers beyond comprehension.
Well, we've seen
It
someone
just
moving
means
atop of a
things.
mountain, so I can handle the concept of an island or a lump of earth with trees on, but just a bunch of trees around a stone building, yeah, that's a bit weird.
They're just unformed bullshit.
That's probably the
that's
basis of the magic.
Dimitri talking,
That's
not Dragnema.
That's probably the basis of the magic.
That's okay,
And-
perspective is not there.
Yeah. Yes, talking about Dimitri's thing you mentioned earlier, talking about Dimitri's intelligence. He always the absolute smartest person in the room?
No.
He thinks he is.
He thinks he is. Now,
Did I tell you Did I tell you about when we ran into the necromancer?
I think you did. Yes.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was very
Well-
derogative towards Dimitri.
Yes.
That's a fun time. Alright.
Yeah.
I would probably ask Miadal
Mm-hmm.
if there is any information that he believes we should know before we embark. I don't think we have an issue with embarking on
No,
this
Yeah.
mission, but is there any information he thinks would help us that he is able to tell us?
Give me a moment. Looks at his book. You have that feeling of he's now debating of should he or shouldn't he.
Would it be possible to make use of the library to do our own research on this subject?
Oh, the books say they'll go badly.
So,
This is for Lonnie. If Lonnie was asking the questions, he'd be like, you got anything else in that fancy book?
Lonnie is welcome to ask questions.
No, Lonnie is following the rule of don't talk in the library.
Exactly.
He says that the book says lots of things, but it also says if it tells you too much, you will fail.
Okay,
He doesn't know which is too much. It doesn't tell him.
but you have faith in us and our ability to achieve your goal.
Well, if you
Or
succeed,
alcohol.
he will go to Yalarum. If you don't, he will go to Wenda. The book says so.
I guess we
Yeah.
have.
Makes
fine with
perfect
that.
sense to me.
yes.
It's not
Just-
prophecy, but it's generally
It's a-
correct.
Yeah, it's a statement of intent that we're willing to go with.
It generally states believed outcomes, not actual.
Yeah.
It cannot foresee the future. It can guess the future,
Yeah.
Should we
but it
visit?
knows the past.
Should we visit the Red Arrows before we head out, or do
Um,
we have?
Well,
we-
they won't talk to you. He says the book says that the leader doesn't like Luel.
Okay.
Someone doesn't like you. How does
I
it sit?
did-
That's
does
where
that
I
work?
usually step up.
How does it work? Is it actually possible for people not to like me, apart from just one guy?
Well, the book says you burn his house down. While he was in it.
Meg
Was
is
that a
definitely
future
laughing
state-
at this point.
Is that a future statement or a past statement?
Oh, his platform was in the house, which he was trying to use at the time. And the main reason they have to go by land is they no longer have their magic relics working.
They were in the house to go.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm trying to remember which house did I burn down.
There's been so many
Well,
of them.
It says when you destroyed the platforms, you set all the other platforms into meltdown.
Well,
And because the Red Arrow saw it as a resource to be guarded, he built his home over it.
so vicissitudes of war. I'll have to apologise at some point, possibly in a century or so.
He looks. Not sure if the outcome will be good. Book doesn't say.
Is this where we shake the book, magic 8 ball it? No.
Too soon to tell, he says.
Ask again later.
My divination statue counts as a magic 8 ball in some respects.
That's what your sister is trying to
He does suggest
souls into.
asking Drazzle. He'll know the outcome because he'll make it happen.
A good reason for him not
Sounds
to...
like a pointed
good
statement.
a good reason for me not to ask you.
That sounds like a pointed statement towards Drazzle where he's
Yes, I know.
getting a dig at him.
Yeah. Another good reason for him not to mention it to him.
Yeah.
He knows.
No, I know, but I'm not going to say it.
We of course will.
We will deal with Linda.
We will travel, and we would love to help any elves.
Well, they won't love your help.
No, we will love to help them.
It's written. They'll accept your help because they're desperate.
That's fine.
They're accepting humans into their land for the first time.
I think.
They used to just kill them.
I think Maiko probably drops some of her facade and says, "Yeah, it's the desperate ones that usually come to us."
Well, he promised aid if they couldn't solve it themselves.
So we're it.
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's go and fulfill his promise.
Okay. Shall we rest first? Like, where are we in the day?
Resting would be good. Oh, come on. A bath and a good meal.
Would we be able to spend the rest of the day and have a night in your wonderful,
We're going to ask the captain. Yes.
Well, I'd ask the clan.
Yeah.
He does
do we
say
have some room? Do we have somewhere we can rest before we venture out?
his child should be able to sort that out for you,
Thank you.
Excellent.
whichever form they take today.
Yeah, okay.
So them and their child are both the same type of... Well, it's fair enough.
Inherited some from the father.
Yep. That's fair.
Helps empathy, he says.
Yes,
Is there
right.
anything we want to ask them to research while we're on stuff?
He says here you do have questions he may answer, and many he may not.
Do you have a useful map of Limbo?
Yes, he does.
Can we have a copy of it, please?
He would love to give you one, he says,
Is there one?
with regret.
But...
Says no.
Doing so means that you will not be accepted.
Okay.
Okay. We can fake it, so that's fine.
If they give it to you, that is one thing. If he gives it to you, it is theft.
That's fair.
Okay, I can see that.
Any advice on how to approach the elves of Wendar without being treated as...
Who's the best first person to talk to?
Drazzle.
Okay. And who's the next one once we get to Wendar?
The one who shudders the most.
The one who shudders the most?
Yes.
Whoever's the most scared of Drazzle.
Yep.
This is getting weirder. But that's fine. We're used to weird things, are we not?
Well, he was there when they laid their first tree.
He's pretty good at first.
And then told them not there.
Sounds like Drazzle.
Took them 3 goes to find the right spot.
Because he wouldn't just tell them where to put it. did
He's
he?
not allowed to tell them.
No.
Are there any customs or
He recommends ignoring all customs and just running ramshot over their beliefs.
Okay.
That is what we
that
normally do
your-
anyway.
Sounds-
Is that your preference or something we should actually be doing?
His preference. Otherwise, you might be there for months
too long.
just getting through the protocols.
That's true.
As they teach you baby steps on how to be a high elf. Including how to speak it correctly, to how to dress correctly, into how to stand correctly, how to breathe correctly. Before they even get into how to interact with other elves correctly.
So how to elf correctly.
No, more how to high elf correctly.
I was going to say, I have books on how to elf correctly.
Yes. There's a war on. We'll do that bit later. Let's do
You have
this.
to prove elf correctly.
And there's a reason why none of the elves who love nature in the forest go there.
Oh dear.
Ah, okay.
That worries me a little.
That worries me a lot.
Well, plus every tree is planted precisely in a specific location for a specific reason.
So it's
They force nature too
organised.
much. Yeah.
Violian elves are
They're
It is not
OCD nature.
nature.
very much nature and wild. Like, I come from a cirque, but my clan
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
overgrown forest.
Oh
like,
yeah. Well, you're Fae.
And
Yeah.
the entirety of Wendar is laid towards land. All about the magic that was stolen.
They've feng shuied the country.
Yes, to enhance their magic.
Yes.
Nature
Which means-
contained.
Which means that can be fiddled with.
Well,
I'll be back in a moment, guys. Sorry.
No,
so someone stole their focus. A green gemstone.
they put
Is this the
one
one
leaf.
The one that Calcris hasn't told anyone she's still got, because anytime she remembers,
So it's
she
that's
loses
why.
entire memory of what happened for the last 5 minutes.
Oh. Right.
As one of the elven gods erases any thoughts about it. They don't even remember stealing it. They remember going to Wendar and leaving Wendar, but not being in Wendar. Because that part of the session never actually happened.
So Calcrix's
Yes.
knowledge won't help us in this either.
We can do divination to find out where it is.
Can't find it.
Got it.
Or was.
There are 5 of those stones.
Is this the Hollow Stones?
No, these not the Hollow World stones. These are created by someone many centuries ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then lost almost as soon as he made them,
Great.
because people figured out where they were, and then each incorporated magic to hide it from him. Having realized they just ticked off a Fey Lord who's a vampire.
Ah. Oh. So. Right.
Known as the first vampire.
Do we have any other questions? I'm blanking on questions right this second.
I'm trying to think of a question.
Like, I'm trying to balance. There's a million questions I can think of, but the question is, are they the right questions to ask?
Where can we get a barrel of high power holy water?
And if listener.
You're back, yeah.
Of course, they could put spikes in wooden spikes into things.
Yeah, we don't have a clue. I was like, I can make it. No, wrong character.
Yeah.
He does say the owner created the gemstones when he was known as Count Zegi.
Ah.
Right.
Okay, that name clicks with me, and I will talk about it later.
Right.
So, wait, hold on. Where are the 5 vampire lords?
Currently in just below Galantry, just below Wendar in Galantry over a mountain range.
In Glantry.
Yep.
Place we.
Well, that, yeah, specifically.
I was gonna say, would our best
Are they
path?
Are they?
Our best path isn't through Galantry, is it?
That would be the last path you ever take.
Okay, so
yeah,
avoid
we,
Galantry.
Yeah, no, we
I knew
We.
we no go.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure I'm not allowed in Galantry either because
No,
of
no,
what I am.
no.
If I go into Glantry, I'm going to get my brain peeled.
Yep.
And everyone with him.
Yes, everyone else with me is going to get their brain peeled.
I'm fairly sure Seika wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to go in even if she hadn't met one.
Yeah.
She could have if you hadn't been working for Red Rain.
Yes. But
Those that know Red Rain can't enter.
Redrins probably had contact with the circus a lot, so.
mm,
The particular undead that.
mm.
What are the specific undead in the area?
He cannot tell you because the book won't let him.
Does the
Take
book
that answer. Thank you.
say whether the Shadow Lord of Shadow? Yes, Shadow Lord. Do we know if he's a lich or a Fey Lord? A Fey?
It says no, we don't.
Okay.
It's just murder.
Prepare.
Right.
He has never written anything down about himself,
Okay.
or she, or it.
Deliberately.
Yeah, because legend of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it actively hunts anything that writes about him.
Well. Yes. Anyone who doesn't want anyone to know about themselves is going to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
I'm
figure
trying to
out
think
the
of
right questions.
what else kind of questions that we can ask. What about?
See, that's my problem. Like,
Yeah.
I've got the obvious
Which is
ones,
why I
but they
threw a
won't
few
work.
little tidbits in there, here and there.
Yeah. I like that we can't ask the specific type of undead. That's very interesting.
What could you tell us?
We'd have to find out more when we get there.
You told us we need to come up with a creative solution.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us what we won't be able to get, or is
The
that
answer from
something-
him is the answer you cannot get.
Okay.
Because that's not you coming up with a creative solution.
So okay.
Greed is not the creative color. Okay. Sorry, that's an old YouTube video.
So asking creative questions doesn't count.
Asking Drezel for a solution will end badly.
Yeah.
Anytime you ask Drezel for a solution, it will end badly.
Only the first 17 times.
I feel like that's just general advice. That has nothing to do with this current situation.
Yeah.
Asking him for advice, not so bad. Asking him for a solution, bad.
Yes.
Yes.
That's general advice. Thank you.
Would you mind if we went and reflected rather than waste your time here? And if we do have any other questions, can we return?
But the book says you may ask one question if you return.
One question. One question each.
No.
Haha. Okay.
He likes your style though. But the book says even if you twist time, you won't be able to ask a second question.
I figured I wouldn't be able to because that book. I feel like I can't touch anything in that anyway. So fair.
And it says, and when you visit the library in the past, he'll have better answers for you.
No, that's fair.
Right.
That's fair. So I'll see you then.
You will remember. The book says so.
I like how the book dictates his life.
Well, a self-writing book will do that.
What do we think? Are we gonna like? Is it worth standing around and trying to come up with more questions, or going away with one?
Creative question.
Well,
Not asking
if we go away
in
and
the
find
book.
out some more, then we'll likely do it.
What do you think?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Not looking in the book.
He looks down because he always looks down because
There's always.
you believe he's actually cursed.
See, that's what I was getting at. That's what I thought.
Right, so
Have
he's
you been talking in
bound.
the library again.
No,
Yeah, I did talk in the library.
This guy's bound to the book, basically.
Yep. So I figured out he cannot have any opinions outside of what is written in the book.
Although he can choose whether to tell you something.
Yeah, he
or
can choose
not.
whether or not he can say
If it lets him.
but
If it lets him.
He is bound forever to this book, it seems.
He says blame Drezel.
Oh, now he's
You know
he's
what?
pissed off.
That 100% makes sense.
Yes.
I feel like maybe Trazzle told him.
Somebody worded something the wrong way at some point, didn't they?
I think so. It sounds like maybe Trazzle told him his prophecy that if he didn't read out of the book, then things would end terribly. Or something along those lines. Who
And then
knows?
some things happened to prove it to him.
Yeah.
Yes. I can just see you with a self-writing diary though.
And who knows, Drezel may be writing his answers in there for him right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe the book's fed by Drazzle.
That's what I mean. I'm just like, I'm wondering if this would have been another one of Drazzle's books that is given to him.
May even be one of Drezel's practical jokes.
Oh, easily. Absolutely. I totally see that being a thing.
I think At this point, we don't have enough information to come up with the right question.
No, we don't.
I think if we leave, rest, reflect, talk to Drazzle.
Yeah.
Does the book say we should leave and come back with one question, or does the book say that we will stay and ask more questions?
He says, it is unclear. Mainly because it says everyone here is very confused about what they want to do and ask.
Well,
I know what I want to do, I just don't know what I want to ask.
Should we leave now? Rather than, so frame as a closed question rather than an open question.
Yeah.
Should we leave now?
Would you
And
suggest we head to think and return with one question?
It's not his job to suggest, it's his job to advise and give you answers, and that's not an answer that's in his domain.
Okay. Should we just ask? Should we leave now?
Well, Father Pat can ask.
Father Pat doesn't talk to libraries. He learned that lesson hard way because apparently he lost his leg in a bet. That he doesn't recall making. So.
Well, he didn't say it was your bet.
Well,
You lost it in a bet.
True.
it was very nice to meet you for my first time. I'm sure we'll talk at some point in the past or future.
We will talk better the second time.
Sounds good.
The third time, not so well.
So saved the book.
Sucks. Apologies in advance. In advance and or past, whichever one it affects.
He can't tell you.
It's fair.
It is always.
But he's
as
still so sorry for you.
It's all good.
It is always a pleasure to see you. I believe that we will go and think and possibly come back with our one question once we
Yes.
have more information.
He says that is unclear.
Yep.
That's why we're doing this.
All right.
Thank you for the confirmation. Thank you for the confirmation of our present mental state.
I'm giving an appropriate goodbye bow, whatever I think is necessary for these elves, and I just kind of like pat, kind of follow Pat on the shoulder and was like, "Let's get out of here. These elves talk too long."
Yes, I'll do the proper formal things.
He just sighs through the whole formal things.
Do I?
Okay, I'm going to give you. Well, I'm going to say the first couple of words of the formal thing as I go, and the rest of it's in the book.
Yes, it is, he says.
Yes. So I do not need to reiterate it.
He smiles
Saving it
again.
both the time.
If you start the speak, you start flipping forward half a dozen pages, thinking, "Oh my God, what did you get
This is why I said I'm stopping after the first couple of words.
See, this is the
Because I know
upside
it's
of
all there.
Maika.
Yeah.
She doesn't need all the
Yeah.
formal stuff. She's the Duchess who sweeps in and ignores
Yeah.
everything and just.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You're the noble and the diplomat. Or
Yeah.
I'm the noble and whatever.
And he's
My
still the
job
only elf you
is a
know
different
who
thing.
carries the full beard. So they do have
Yes.
a picture
Ooh.
of him. And that's in there. So
He's doing Elf Gandalf.
that's why I said Dumbledore
That's
was
a
probably
seriously-
closer.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
With a quick
Yes.
glance across the titles that we can see of the books,
So for Jeremy's purpose, you can see
Oh, yeah,
the
yep.
bearded elf there.
is there anything else I can see in the titles of interest?
Everything else seems to be vague or blurred.
Okay.
Basically, as if whatever he's got here, he made sure people could see that one.
Okay.
That's interesting.
You don't expect he ever does anything he doesn't intend to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is that the book of the month that he's putting on display? Because libraries do that.
With a recommendation underneath.
Well,
Do not read.
it may just be that because, hey, the tree's literally flying.
Yes.
And there's an elven fable on a flying tree.
There
Yes.
you go. Yeah.
Maybe the book is doing it.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wander out, find the captain.
Captain, I'm a captain.
Yeah. She slips back into her, overly chatty, friendly, socialite
social
mode.
person. Yes.
And he gives you a big hug.
I give him a big one back. The clan leader has said that you will be able to give us a space to rest and recover before we head
You can
out.
find an appropriate space. You like heights?
I have
I
no
love
problem
heights.
with heights.
Okay. Glad you all like heights then, he says. I'm
Do
not
we
looking
all
at the
like
others.
Bad luck we don't be going there.
Well, he's just ignored the opinion of the non-elves. So yeah.
Which is not unusual.
Well, yeah, it's normal for some elves, including some of those families.
Maxim obviously rejoins you as you exit the library.
Yep.
Okay, so he takes you up to one of the few dwellings that has a lookout over the edge of the flying settlement. You look down and there's just clouds and
Cool.
forest.
Oh, nice.
Neat.
He says, we stopped housing people here when we were in a thunderstorm and people fell out.
We'll try not to fall.
How do we feel made to feel really welcome?
So it's their only free dwelling at the moment.
Very well.
Is Drazzle with us?
Yes.
Okay.
The captain tries not to look at him in as most obvious way as possible.
Right. So he's standing between us and Drazzle and facing away
Pretty much.
at all times.
If Drazzle
Yeah.
moves and you see Drazzle's just, for some reason, just moving a lot more than he normally does.
Because he's playing City Buggers.
And inside,
Yes.
Mayeka is laughing. Thank you very much. This will be a perfect place to rest.
Yeah.
Where would you be if we need to find you again?
Oh, just come looking for me, I'll find you.
Lovely.
Everyone lets me know when strangers are moving about. You know,
That's fair enough.
stranger danger, that sort of thing.
Makes complete
Sounds
sense.
like they're using a
Safe
Facebook
people.
community notice board.
Yeah, we're perfectly safe and nice people. We're not strange at all.
But you're not of the community, and anyone not of the community is a stranger.
And therefore potentially a danger.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, your underling knows.
Hang on!
I very carefully do not react to that statement because I was expecting it.
Yeah, I'm not reacting. I'm in fact like turning him away
Yeah.
from Father Pat.
Yes.
Well, hey, he acknowledged Father Pat. That is it. That means he's more enlightened than most of the others. The others would have just ignored what he said.
That's true.
Yeah, this feels like Hildren and the Alarm Ambassador.
Yes.
For
the same reason. Yes.
If there is anything you need from us, or if there is anything we need to know, please feel
Oh, I'm
free
sure
to
there's
drop by.
much you need to know. I don't have the time though.
That's the way
For
of the world, and it's why we are constantly learning and looking for new information.
Yes. For our present process, yes.
Your present process, he doesn't have any hints he thinks he can give you that will help.
Yeah.
Unless it is, get some better companions.
I like this guy.
I'm now shifting him towards the door in the most kind, and wonderful, and welcoming way.
You, me, and your parent,
My
we're gonna
present,
be besties, I bet. I just see it happening.
Written in the book.
I mean, I like this guy, but I also know Drachma.
But it's always nice having a few snide elves in there who are very helpful and friendly.
Absolutely.
yes.
Oh.
For me to go, I want to say something of that and I'm not going to.
I was also wondering if there was a way we could get some wonderful refreshments. We have been on travel rations recently, and just a nice meal would make things so much better.
Yes, we have some elven whey bread. One bite will feed you for a day.
That would be a wonderful thing.
Yes.
And I just happen to have two on me. He says, handing them to you.
I will gratefully have them.
Yes, he gave us 2 elves worth.
This was noticed.
Yes.
Yes.
And then he happily walks out,
Thank you.
singing an old tune about a fool and his friend.
I hand the others some of my limbers because I'm carrying some. Because I have the ritual for making it.
I usually have rations of some sort on me.
Oh yeah. But this is literal embers bread. It's like a slice of flavoured bread wrapped in leaf.
This is
You do
where
recognize the song
So-
he sings is an old halfling song.
Ah.
That's funny. I like it.
He knows some
Okay.
interesting people.
Was Micah being deliberately deceptive, or was she making a statement on the food quality at Plural's town.
Oh no, I was just looking for a good meal. We're in an elven stronghold.
Oh, yeah.
I just want nice food.
Yeah.
Particularly Maika. She's
yeah.
used to a particular standard of sustenance.
Yeah, actual real food, not hi, here's some lembas bread. But
But his response means we're not welcome
The fact
anywhere
that he
else.
said that we've been living on travel rations for the last several days.
so he gives us trial
Yeah.
rations. Yes.
Yes.
When we left Claw's town the day before.
Yeah.
No, we left it 2 days ago.
2 days
Oh,
ago.
no, that's kind of a bit decision. It
Yeah.
takes a little while to fly up, didn't it, that guy?
Yes.
I would never,
Yeah.
even
And-
if I thought the food at Llewell's place was horrible, which I don't,
Just getting that out
Maika
there.
would never say that.
No, Llewell's a halfling cook. I feel comfortable
Like,
with
yeah.
this.
even think in a private thought, what are you trying to say?
And like,
Yes.
Lonnie has halfling cook herself. That's why like Lonnie trusts halfling cooks as long as you're very particular about the type of meat you're getting. That's it.
And
I think Seika just trusts halfling
Yeah.
cooks.
A few
I'm
people
in a
die
traveling
from the
circus.
meal unless they
I'm not
intended.
fussy about my food.
yes, that's where the tiger went.
Seika. Maika
Although-
is used to parties.
And what were
Yeah.
you saying, Jeremy?
Although I will say, mine is not an ex-pirate. And
He's a current pirate. Just joking.
no,
Mine's expired.
and is also not a part-time assassin. However,
I was going
she's
to say, are you sure?
she's an alchemist.
Oh dear.
Even more fun.
Oh, sorry,
Um,
Jeremy was saying something.
And brewer.
And what were you adding there, Jeremy?
Yep.
I was just going to ask, presumably, while enjoying the joys of Limbath,
Yeah.
do the rest of you still directing me in on the discussions in the library?
Oh, yeah. We're probably talking to both you and filling both you and Drazzle in. Though
Yes,
Drazzle
that's right.
probably already knows what we're about to say.
Jack-
already knows, yeah.
In fact, Imogen will ask the question, having listened to how the conversation went, he said, and the implication of how it all went. He said, so, did you ask the librarian to provide all the information that the book said he would provide?
That hadn't crossed my mind.
Drazzle said no, they did not.
No. He did at one point say, I can't tell you anymore, but that was about what he was talking about at that point, I think.
I think I was more trying to come up with a clever question than
I
thinking
feel like
that
that is a clever.
Then
clever
I feel like I was
for the
going to
one-
sound right.
Yes.
I feel like Drachma has just gone straight, and all of the rest of us are going.
Yeah. No, because like that's why
See, we
have Dracula around. I feel like that is actually a good question to ask for
Yeah.
the one question we have.
Did you tell
It would seem to be a logical
You tell
one
us everything
question
you're supposed
to
to.
provide everything you need to know.
I feel like that's a fair.
And in one question, you get all the answers that you need for what you're doing.
Yep.
Unless, of course, you want to ask about something else.
Well, if we know these guys.
Where's my
Um,
list?
When is this delivery for this ballista gonna come in?
Well, if you manage to ask that before anyone else does, you'll probably get an answer.
No, not that guy. Then we get
We
ordered by the party.
How accurate the recollections of the whole conversation are. Jack Nimmo will also make the comments at the fact that at one point he'd said, I'm sure the solution will be creative because, and no, he said, I'm sure you'll be successful with the creative solution because it did imply, the implication was that the book that it wasn't successful.
No, a straightforward
The idea being
solution
the
is
fact that
not
it might
going
be
to
creative,
be.
it didn't come up.
A straightforward solution is not going to work. It has to be a creative solution of some kind.
So my
Yeah,
is
but
dropped.
he was confident that it would work. He was confident that we would succeed, despite the fact that apparently it wasn't in the book.
Well,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a fortune telling book. He has an answers book.
So,
Mike has dropped all semblance
History
of the
of the dummy.
socialite, and you
Yeah.
just see like somebody who is used to power and used to being
Yeah.
listened to.
Rosal does say that the book only
Noble
tells
was
him
turned on.
Yes.
what to say.
Yeah.
Less of the hosting
Yeah.
socialite stuff and more of the.
I will
And
ask
Dragon would certainly know.
is this one of your gifts?
Yes. He made bad choices.
Drazzle, I'm so curious
impression.
what he did to piss you off.
He told me my full name.
Oh, okay, never mind. I totally get it. But I feel like that
It was either give him book or take his heart.
So you took
okay,
his,
Drazzle.
so to not take his heart, you took his heart.
I took his spirit.
Same thing, really.
He doesn't need it. He wasn't
Well-
using it anyway.
On that line of thinking of, it's the idea that Father Pat lost his leg in the bet. The real problem is the fact that he won the bet.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a real
of
issue.
course.
Losing one leg was the winning plan.
Yeah, the other guy lost both legs and an arm.
The other guy didn't survive.
Well,
it's one.
well, Drazzle, just
Yeah,
that
but-
just goes to remind me
Yeah.
about how scary you can be. Love you, Drazzle.
yes. I've not heard you be that snarky before.
Drazzle not like.
I got
Hey,
the idea.
I mean, if someone told you your true name, I'm sure you'd be pissed off too. So
I don't dislike mine as much as he dislikes his.
his
If you
husband-
use your true name, he can make you do what he
Yeah.
wants.
True.
True name.
Actual true name, yes.
Yeah, actual
fair.
true name.
Fair.
I'm guessing he said full name, or
yeah.
true name.
True. For him, full name is true name,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
which is why you only know him as
Uh,
Drazzle or his titles, not
that
his
is-
name.
That is a point. That's common.
Or Dr. Agel,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the author.
I was gonna say anytime. Yeah, that's mostly true for most dragons.
That's why
Yeah.
most dragons will give you a nickname.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
even if it's a long name, it's still going to be a short version of their real one. Yeah. Yes.
And he will never do so again.
I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like you've
well.
made it so he never can. So that's good.
Well, the book says it would go badly.
Yeah.
So he believing that, yeah.
Well, he's now beholden to the book forever. So.
And
So-
when next we meet, it will be the last time.
Mm.
Oh, next time you meet him. Okay.
So, Drazzle,
Mm.
the clan leader says we shouldn't ask you for a solution, so I won't. But
Drazzle has many solutions. They all go badly.
that's why. He did say we should talk to you first. Is there anything you can tell us that will help us without blinding us to prophecy or...
Many things.
Are you coming with us to Wendar?
Always. If he doesn't, things go badly.
Fair.
Lonnie doesn't know enough time magic to help.
Poor life choices, he says.
Sounds accurate.
Is there anything that you think we should know now? Again, without forming prophecy or anything particularly dangerous.
The answer to that is still going to be yes.
Lots of things.
Dangerous to who?
Dangerous to us.
Yeah. Because dangerous to him is a different consideration.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's dangerous to Drazzle, that's something we don't know about.
Yeah.
Well, Drazzle does know of someone who kills him in most timelines.
Yeah.
He's in the Friday group.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Is he the Death Angel?
No,
Okay.
he's a warlock. And in other timelines, Drazzle kills him.
Right. So,
This is the only timeline they haven't killed each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
To date.
Anytime they one kills the other, it ends badly.
right.
We would appreciate...
So,
since we are going into a situation that is filled with a lot of unknowns,
Yes.
I am one who always likes to have information before embarking on dangerous missions, and always try to gather the most information I can.
The elves here are more helpful than the elves there.
That I believe.
Imagine you have a stick up your butt.
Oh, Drazzle.
Yep.
I almost visualized that.
Drazzle knows and he feels sorry for you.
I said I almost. I managed to avoid it.
He still saw the picture.
It's probably in one of his books. Is there anything that you think is appropriate to tell us at the moment?
They hate him coming. They never stop him coming.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, like that was the what's his face? The librarian did say that as well.
Drazzle only shows up when things are going to fall apart.
Which I'm guessing things might
Already
be
done.
close to falling apart currently.
They expected him 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, 'cause all
Right.
that stuff.
Guys always like. This is even more worrying.
This is elf time. I'm sure they're like.
Oh,
That's a week.
no. It was probably more a representation of exactly what the conditions were like 3 years ago and they've become, that they expected Dracula to have appeared 3 years ago to portend the falling apart of the last 3 years.
Yes.
Is a direct path suggested, or should we be making pit stops along the way?
Drazzle has friend coming.
There's a friend coming.
So
Do I
he doesn't
currently
answer
know
the
this
question,
friend?
but the suggestion is wait
Okay.
around for a sec.
Will I know this friend in the future?
He thinks for a bit, potentially.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. Never mind. That's a dumb question.
Well, it depends how you react to them.
If Drazzle answered, Drazzle would have to make up.
True. You're correct.
Is this somebody who would be known to me?
He looks at you. Yes.
In the past, not in the future.
Not saying.
Oh well, somebody that's known to.
Well, if it's in
Michael
the future,
O'Shaughnessy.
he's just said he's going to make it happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll see.
Drazzle likes surprises.
We know.
Seeker doesn't.
If Drazzle know everything, Drazzle bored.
And a
yes.
board Drazzle you don't want.
Will your friend meet us here, or are we likely to meet them on the road?
He thinks for a bit. Flicks through his book a few pages ahead. Flicks a few pages back. Moves one page forward. Looks halfway down and goes, here. With a sad face.
Sad face. Aw.
I know that's just caused us a prophecy, but I figured that one's okay.
Well, Win is here.
Well, yeah, we just hang around until I'm sure the
Yeah, we could be hanging around a long
We're
time
fine.
because we didn't actually say when we were going to be.
only a
That's
couple of
true.
pages ahead.
Pages. An interesting concept.
That could be
of time.
20 minutes or 4 days.
Yeah.
Or years.
Oh yes.
4 years.
Or millennia.
But the
Well,
implication was the
depends
friend
how-
was coming to help us with this.
Yeah, depends how many things happen during the meantime. Yeah.
So do we want to take a bit more time to think, or shall we return to the clan lord and ask Drachma's question?
Might as well ask the question.
Drazzle recommends sleeping on before speaking to.
Yep.
Clan Lord bit frazzled right now.
I wonder why he's asking a bunch of questions.
Because there's
Clan Lord
Basil
didn't
here.
like the answers in book.
He.
So the clan leader knows who I am,
Yeah.
as in Seiko.
Yeah.
Did I get the impression that the captain would know who I am?
Yes.
So it probably wouldn't make waves if I shifted back tonight.
No. We'll make waves.
We'll make waves? Okay, I will stay as my...
Rest of clans not know.
Okay.
Yes.
I will stay as...
I'm
Tree
presuming,
keeper especially finicky.
I'm
I'll
presuming
stay
some.
as I
I'm
am.
presuming we have seen other people around,
Mm-hmm.
even though we've only interacted with these couple of people.
You've seen probably a few travelling in couples or small groups,
Yeah.
but no one walking by themselves.
Is
Yes.
this a single room, or is there space in...
It's a fairly large room, and being one of their living trees, it can be directed to make enclosures.
Is there a bathroom?
There is now.
If you need it, or then you could just use the off the tree idea of some of the elves.
Yeah, not something Maika would be happy with.
As I said, there is now. So yeah.
Yeah, so if we're settling down for the night,
I would like some privacy at one point and
Yeah.
a nice bath.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I said, Maika is a noble and is used to...
You don't expect there to be a lot of water here.
Mm.
Don't
I can
have
do-
the ability to create water.
I do.
shouldn't be able to just take a bucket.
Drizzle says
Clouds?
water magic problematic.
Ah.
Create storms.
True, makes sense.
At least
You
some
summon
form
water,
of
you
wash.
summon all the water.
Ah. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Damp towel.
Yeah.
Works on campaign.
Yes.
Again, not necessarily Maika's style, but she'll take it.
Got a
She
great
just
deal
needs
of choice.
to get rid of travel grime.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, and of course I want my privacy so I can do my reports
Yes.
with the withholding the things you know I withhold.
Hmm.
Does Satoshi have any insight or anything that would be able to help?
Satoshi recommends speaking to a descendant of their sponsor known as Dimitri, who had some colleagues who went to Wenda to save it and disappeared carrying something called Black Razor.
Okay, we gotta make some.
Do we have to hit them with a stick now?
Do I know that Dimitri and Laura? I'm sure you would have mentioned the
I've
fact that you
mentioned it.
talked to Dimitri.
Yes.
I'll prompt Lowell to say that that's what
Right.
my superiors has suggested.
So I
Just
get
one
to,
question though, Martin.
get to contact him.
I didn't think Dimitri was part of that group. Wasn't that the group of elves
Yes.
campaign?
It was, but you knew some of the elves that left, and you were there when they
Right,
got Black
okay.
Razor.
I was able to give people not.
So you got Black Razor from White Plume Mountain with the elves that
Yeah,
left with it.
yeah.
So you
Okay,
have
yeah.
you have knowledge of the elves that went, and plus some of those they went with.
Right. So
Yeah. And you wasn't actually there at the time.
And I believe it was at 8th level they went. So it's going to duck to the bathroom if Jeremy wants to update you on what he remembers. Asking all
So-
of his memory.
I'll contact Dimitri and praise his intelligence and capability.
Easiest way to get Dimitri to answer back. I'm sure.
Exactly right. I am a diplomat and I'm not dumb.
Can Dimitri, if he
I'll
remembers,
ask him about Wendar
I am feeling
Uh,
very.
and
I feel
what
that
happened.
I feel that Seika is. It's probably a good thing that Seika hasn't interacted with Dimitri.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, Seika's life is poorer for never having met Dimitri.
That's how
Yes,
Dimitri
sure.
feels.
I'm sure that's how Seika would describe her life.
But as a player, I can't recall enough about what happened in Wendar on that particular occasion because
Right.
it was literally from my memories of it, was one of the introductory campaigns where we had actually an elf-based campaign, probably in Elfheim.
Yeah.
But as a player, I didn't get. It was a time when I didn't manage to get to many sessions. So,
Oh,
Fair.
right.
and I wasn't there for the conclusion of the campaign, where yes, the party handed over Black Razor to a Black Dragon.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, Dimitri has been near Wendar, having been through Moldavia,
Yeah.
with the having and retrieving one of the green seeds.
Yeah.
That is in fact also the thing that Kelcrick then gave away, and it caused the destruction of Wendar.
Right.
Although at the time it was understood to be the 5 seeds were actually artifacts from the Halflings. Was understood, like they'd been stolen from the 5 Shires, before they were, or after they were stolen from Wendell, or before one of the two. So
And 3 of them were used in Galantry.
Yeah.
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 yeah, but
He can't remember all
as
of
a
it.
player, I can't remember what happened in the Elven campaign that led to the Black Race.
So
I missed a lot of it when we were going
It's
through.
okay.
So.
The elves had basically put out a call for people to help, and so the elves that had been traveling with the party, with Dimitri at the time, one of them had Black Razor, and had decided to tag along, finding out that in carrying the blade, he got a chance to negotiate with the Shadow Lord, who leads the army of the undead.
Right.
One of the few things that guaranteed audience.
Yes.
Not sure if it was going to be a good or a bad outcome, but nothing
Right.
else guaranteed audience.
Yeah.
As a lot of powers of entropy can very much undermine stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. Yes.
Point of clarification, if people can answer from character knowledge.
Mm.
Black Razor, does it turn away undead or does it control undead?
In its presence, undead can act under the will of it,
Okay, so it controls them.
but it can also repel them.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you can control them by saying bugger off.
yeah.
Well,
Or
normally
the
it's
fact
the blade that does it.
the undead won't go near it because they might get controlled.
And it's
Yeah.
also possible that it can be used to heal undead
Okay.
at the cost of the person striking the undead.
Yeah.
That makes the most
So,
sense for that kind of blade. Yeah.
It's not the sort of blade you want to hit undead with,
No.
but it has a connection with them.
Yeah.
And being an artifact, most undead can't approach artifacts,
Right.
as nature of a lot of the artifacts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it needs to
So-
be of a certain power level for it to radiate
to
that.
actually work like
Yeah.
that, yeah. So, that's what they had. And what is, again, character knowledge, the origin of where the blade came from? Because I feel like I missed that part of it.
The blade had been gifted to the Church of Karamikos and part of the founding, and then got lost after they migrated to Karamikos some 40 years ago now. And because they were part of the Church of Thyatis, and Thyatis had claimed it in their various conquests,
Right.
as had Whelm, the Dwarven Hammer, and Wave, the
The
Trident of Proteus.
Is
Yeah.
this before the Zerchev and stuff? The Pantheon?
No, this is
long
this is
after.
quite recent.
Okay,
But-
cool.
So when I say 40 years ago from the current date
Okay.
in the game,
Yeah.
So,
Right.
within
Oh.
the elves' lifetime.
we think it should be close to most characters' lifetime,
Yeah.
if not their parents' lifetime.
Yeah, it would easily be
Yeah.
my parents.
Because maybe-
lifetime,
you remember the
Blade,
Karamikos as a nation
He was
is only 70 years old or something.
No, it is 42 years old as a nation of
42, okay,
because it was created
Yeah.
30 years before the first session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Duke, now King Stefan, was actually the very first ruler
Yeah.
of the nation.
Okay.
It's obviously that Goldara has been around a lot longer than that, but hey.
Though the last time they were close to a nation was when they were the Traldar instead of the Traladara.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
is this before the Black Dragon has claimed Black Razor, or after?
This Karamikos
This is before.
the Black Dragon claimed Black Razor about 4 years ago.
Right.
After, because that's right, and it was due to the fact that Dimitri was actually part of an expedition that recovered Black Razor, Whelm, and Wave
But the
from
church
White Mountain.
couldn't take the items back because they had bonded to people.
So,
Right.
back to player
Yes.
question, you were talking about a green gem that Calcrix has. If Calcrix is joining us, would that, her having it, even though she doesn't remember she has it, do anything while we're there, or is that too complicated of a question that we just have to find out and wait?
That one is a surprise to happen if anything happens.
Got it. I feel like that's how that's gonna be for that in
I
the
feel
first
like
place.
either
Like when
Martin
it has
knows
the
it.
forgetting stuff on it, like I feel like that's a surprise, a later surprise. That
Because in the games there are notes of where 3 of those gems that can do the same thing have gone, except each gem represents one of the 5 elements.
right, yeah,
And you don't know which element was taken from Wendar.
right. So
And
that's
one of the gems is now hidden on the World Mountain in Ethingar,
Green
on the very
Hills.
top of it, right in the Fey Dark.
okay.
Which was the one that got taken from Baba Yaga's aunt's hut, wasn't it?
Not Baba Yaga, Baba Lysaga, who had a moving mountain instead of a chicken hut.
That's what I mean. Baba Yaga's aunt. I couldn't remember what the name was of that same conversation.
And it was the Wednesday group that got that gem and put it on the mountaintop.
That's fair. I'm just trying to think
And that's when Dimitri spent the time in Moldavia, ruled by Wendar. And that sort of thing.
The last time they entered Galantry for any of the groups.
Yeah.
Would Dimitri have knowledge of a way to get to Wendar without going through Galandry?
Of course, there's this fabled rainbow bridge.
or going over Ethingar, or does Galantry actually completely surround, like Darkin surrounds Helpine?
No, Galantry is to the south western side of, whereas Ethingar's on the southeastern side. But the only way to actually cross into it by land is through the Haldanic territories.
Yeah, but the idea is, consider where we are right now. It was over Ethingar, over Haldan, into Wendar.
So those mountaintops are said to have weird things in them, as it used to be home to a Nomi civilization long since wiped out. And something that can wipe out a Nomi civilization is enough to scare most people from the region.
Okay.
Well, doesn't tell us where it is.
Is the Haldanic the northern reaches in Osland?
They are north of the northern reaches, and they share the border with Ethingar, with the Haldanic territories.
I'm trying to find the map.
So the Haldanic territories are like the northern reaches, except they only worship one goddess, and the goddess of war.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Where's the
She's known as Vanya, and she's also the patron of Thyatis.
Oh
yeah. Where's the map at?
So
Looking for location things.
okay, I can bring up a map up here very quickly.
Yeah, I can bring up a map. I was having a look on the side.
Yeah.
Is this in the gazetteer?
Yeah.
Region.
Dimitri does recommend not going around Blanktree from the west.
So if you look at this basic map here, I will zoom in.
All right. No, I've got a chunkier map. I'll use that.
So this one is basically a simple thing showing. This is the Ethingarian areas. This is the northern reaches around this side, and this is Galantry over here. Haldanic territories is you're down about here.
Right. Okay. So where is
Haldanic freeholds is there, and this section over here is where Wendar is. The reason I'm not showing you maps of that area is that's coming into the story.
yeah.
So where is in relation to us? Where is the undead war taking place?
One of the undead wars is taking place in. Let me see if I can remember correctly. I think it is this section over here.
Along the river line.
Along that river line, yeah. Going in.
So
Sort of spills into Ethingar a little bit, but considering a lot of the combatants in the Undead War are Ethingarian, or were at least at one stage.
Do I know anything about the undead war or anything like that?
No, because that's crazy wizard stuff happening up there.
Right.
So-
And any sensible soldier does not get involved with wizards.
Well, in that place, you are treated as a servant with no prospects. So you can't even enter the military there.
Right.
because they'll only take
This
Okay.
yeah. It's
proper spellcasters,
Right.
not partial
Or dead
spellcasters.
people in that particular area.
Well, those people would happily take him on in the army, except it
Right.
wouldn't be him anymore.
Really,
No.
That's
really
right.
detailed.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
other than my mind being completely wiped,
Sasquatch
in Galandria,
territory.
I'm just not seen
Just
as
a
a
fun one.
person there because I don't practice magic.
No, not a lot.
Show you the magic of these fists.
In our circus travels, we would not have hit Galantry, and we weren't able
Oh no,
to get
you
to
you could have hit
Before.
Galantry.
Yeah.
Because
Before
Galantry
closed down.
is one of the places where you can go completely outlandish, push yourself to the absolute limit, and be on the same level as the other performers there. Because that's how top tier the performers are in Galantry.
Yeah, because they
It's
have to be.
it's either be top tier or disappear.
our circus is good.
Like I said, you would have made it to Galantry. You wouldn't have made it to Wendar because you couldn't get in.
Yeah.
Would I have travelled to either the Ethengar Carnates or
You wouldn't have trusted the Ethengarians because the problem is if you get their customs wrong, they kill you.
what about the
They don't
Haldanic
appreciate good art.
territories?
So
The
from
Haldanic territory is very hard to get into as well because unless you're part of their religion, it's very easy to get them offended, as
Right.
they like to convert those who aren't of their religion.
But I definitely would have gone to the Northern Reaches, so I would have at least contacts up to the Northern Reaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going north of that becomes problematic because it starts bleeding into people who are less trusting,
Yeah.
more suspicious, and less likely to allow a travelling circus through.
So from the
Wendar looks like a
Wendarian's
great place to be.
perspective, we're gonna be like the Kool-Aid man, showing up, wrecking some things, solving their problems, then getting out before they even have a chance to properly say hello.
Which
Hopefully,
is exactly
yes.
what they expect for anyone travelling with Drazzle.
Well, it's valid. We do that. We do that
Well,
normally.
it's what they need, so they can suck it up.
I've got a solution for you, yeah.
Right, so if we turn up and then wait for 2 days, that'll put them off their stride.
That'd be very offensive. So,
How to
okay.
confuse them.
It is very
Yeah.
much like once we're there, we move at our own normal speed, not waiting on any
No.
input from them realistically, because it would take way too long. It's pretty much get there, figure out the problem, solve the problem.
Well, look at it this way:
Yeah.
their belief system is how insolent to talk.
Wendar
yeah.
is not a friendly place to be. Well, not a nice place to be. All this ground stuff's all mountain. That's all of it.
See, this is where my other character is perfect for this campaign.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, but Wendar is known as the Wendarian Ranges because it's a walking great mountain range with valleys in it.
So it's the valleys that they live in,
Oh, yeah.
and it's the most inhospitable place for a non-elf there is in the setting.
Mm-hmm.
Because the elves will eat them. Or
They
just
would
yeah.
just execute you and use you
Yeah.
for fertilizer. They wouldn't
Mhm.
want to eat you; they'd eat what grows from you.
yeah, because hey, you've got to be useful somehow, right?
Okay.
Like the
So you're not getting mushroom compost.
pretty sure the only
Yeah.
reason they won't kill us is because we have Drazzle with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Lowell was the one that said was the difference between
Yeah.
letting me in,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
because you're a
they
lesser
have
elf.
Lowell
I
is
don't think it's
Lowell is
even
an
that.
official lord of the setting,
Yeah.
and he's a recognized clan leader.
Yeah.
Even though technically he can
You-
have that usurped quite
Is it
easily.
because
Well, yeah.
I'd be considered a
But-
lesser elf, or do they have a particular?
He's a clan leader, always gets a say.
Yeah. Also, I'm an actual member of a noble family,
Yeah, I'm
and
just.
that also brings it up.
If he brings up
You
the
act like
princedom part, a problem happens. But as
Yeah.
he's a leader of an Elfhelm King clan,
Yeah.
he gets an automatic acceptance. A
Yeah.
standard elf coming in has to prove themselves.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if
So-
it's because I'm a Vialian elf, or because.
Even a Kalari elf would have the same problems.
Okay.
You're not a noble elf. That's
Well-
the thing. So,
No, I don't have noble
not from-
blood, but from
Yes.
a paperwork perspective, I completely am.
but not from a family from there, as far as they know, you're not a noble.
And you might not be a recognised clan of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have the paperwork.
Yeah.
I have all of that. Like, Maika is a actual, like, everything about her is legitimate. It's legal, like, she is real.
Yeah.
And her family is
real.
real. But blood-wise, I don't know, I might have noble blood in me. I don't know who my parents are.
Most elves can consider the fact that they're elves to be noble.
Yeah.
As a lot of things refer to them as the noble humanoid race,
Yes.
except for the fact that they have clan
Dwarves,
lines.
gnomes, and dwarves and gnomes don't recognise that.
Dwarves don't recognise it, and elves are very clannish.
I have no she has no memory of her birth family.
No, that's fair.
Well, very few elves actually know
Stick
the
with
person
it.
who birthed them very well.
Yeah.
They know the settlements or the people who brought them up, because they don't really retain memories from their first 20 years of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was given to Satoshi within those
Yeah.
first 20 years. She was raised as...
So think of a human and times it by 5, and that's when they start to, that's how they develop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting there is going to be a bastard.
So yeah, Seika's been trained to do what she does for
Ever.
yeah
Since
Yeah.
birthday.
90 odd years.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we're
So-
at 10:23,
We might as well.
I will giving you a chance to talk to him, which we can sort out for next session.
Mm.
Yep.
But after you end up talking to him, there's a stir in the community. We can deal with what you talk to next session.
Right.
Give me a chance to actually work out the details.
Yep.
So I give
That's
you
cool.
what you need instead of what I think you need.
Yeah.
Yes.
Different things.
They are different things.
And
What all you need now is having been received.
in the fact that the entire community is in an uproar because they have an unwanted visitor arriving.
Right.
Drazzle's friend.
Drazzle's friend, yes.
Awesome.
Ah,
I'm excited.
let's hope it's.
And
It's gonna be amusing.
it is a humanoid cat.
Oh.
I'm sure I would remember that if I...
You do know the name, Raksasha.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure I
No,
would...
oh, sorry, Rakasta.
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 Would
Yes.
I, like, I'm sure...
Not
how many
the-
Rakastas will I have met in my lifetime? Would I-
Very little.
Yeah.
So
Rakasta.
if I've met this person before...
Is his name Bob?
It is Bob.
Bob the cat.
It is
Bob,
Bob. Yeah.
Bob the cat. He's a bobcat.
Exactly.
I was
And,
thinking...
and he
like,
does have the appearances of a bobcat.
It's not gonna be somebody who, like, the 5 or 6 blood elves that I don't really remember. If I-
Yeah.
Oh, every one of these you'll recognise. They walk with what you'd look as noble grace without trying. They're just so good at movement.
Yeah.
They never get into a fight.
It was the Rakshasa we met that gave me the leg that was
Rakasta.
eating it, wasn't it? Rakasta.
Yes.
We've met
Yes.
Bob.
They've never been seen getting into a fight. They always talk their way out of it
Yeah.
or leave.
But yeah, they're the high-tech space cats.
Yeah, that's
Drazzle
right, yeah.
was saying...
Yeah.
Yeah, we met them on the... No, we met some of them on the Gnomish.
Yes.
So, but, like,
We met
if
them
I
on the
know
thing.
this character... like,
This
if I
one
knew it-
wasn't at that one,
No.
and he spent most of his time on the Isle of Dread.
Yeah.
But Drazzle said I have met him, but he couldn't tell me whether it was past or future. So if I...
Well, you've now met him.
True.
Right. Yes.
Just not yet.
So whether it was in the past or the future, you've now met the condition of meeting him.
True.
And the rest of the party had already met him in the past.
Yes. Sometimes Drazzle hurts my head.
Yes.
What do you think the librarian is dealing with?
A very sore head.
A never-ending migraine.
Several hundred years of having spoken to Drazzle.
And being told that he only gets one visit left.
Yeah.
It's either he will die of old age or Drazzle will kill him.
So the moment that Drazzle entered the community, he would have
It
been
was-
on...
I bet he was already
It was-
dreading.
It was worry time. Oh
Yeah.
And you have a feeling he drops by on a regular basis just for that.
Because
Just to mess with him.
because Drazzle
Yeah,
does
it's my
sense of
priority.
humour.
And so next session, you will be taking one of the Space Cat's vehicles to Wender, just to annoy the Wendarian elves that much more.
And I just sat there trying to figure out the best way to get there.
Well, yeah,
I
was looking
was
at it.
gonna
That's
say,
what I was doing.
it sounds like that
How do
was
we get through
definitely.
Yeah. Well, I did say it was going to be a bugger to get
Travel's
to.
Dimitri told you that.
Yes.
Martin, would you
I
like another
would
one
love
before we
one
pack
more.
up? I'm glad they worked out. I've never tried a sugar-free recipe before.
Dimitri told you how you were getting there. He said you were going over Ethinger, over Helvetic Knights.
Yeah, I said I'm not here on
Well,
next.
so I was saying it's going to be a bugger. The only way to do it is airborne.
It's okay, we'll have you in the background.
Well,
We'll have you next
in the
time.
library, be quiet.
Exactly.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And I know you're not Saturday, but that's not going to work either because I'm flying out to Perth. So.
Okay,
I'll
we'll
look
sort
at
out
with you
another
all. Good
one.
night. Thanks very much, guys.
Okay.
See ya.
Good night,
See ya,
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yeah, put it on in
See you on Wednesday or next week or the week after.
I will see you on Wednesday.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Yep. Good night.